OnlyFans. You're starting OnlyFans. You're
Let's
24 years old. You're starting OnlyFans. What insurance do I need for OnlyFans?
I think I just found a gap for this guy.
If you cannot work, we'll pay your salary today.
Yes, but I feel like some insurance companies are not going to do that, bro.
What's one of the most dreadful conditions to have as a South African that's come up a lot that you've seen?
So the most claimed condition, based on the insured population of South Africa, okay, would be accidental. So accidental
you
death,
said that,
motor vehicles, whatnot. And then cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, cancer. Specifically breast cancer for women and prostate cancer for men.
Is that true? Or is that just a statement they're trying to make people go, ah?
Yeah, about 2.5 months ago, I lost my mom. Yeah, so my mom, she's got an amazing story. I got back to South Africa and it was November.
AI life insurance.
Yeah.
What is that? How does that work? I've never heard of anybody else doing artificial intelligence life insurance.
Yeah.
What is that?
Seen like edits on Instagram with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, like they
pictures
do
and things.
AI stuff. So what is AI insurance?
So we are the first insurer in the world, I believe, that's
Yeah, give me all your attention. One time for the misfits. Through the doors open on the highway. I promise you don't want to miss this.
we were looking at a couple of things, man. So one moment, fucking hell, bro, I'm having like I need you just
Relax
just chill out a
yourself,
bit, bro.
dog.
Have another Have some wine. You'll be chilling.
Can we wipe and start again, bro?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I'm relaxed now.
You see what happens when the cameras come on?
Okay, my Valpro's finished now.
You want another one?
Okay.
Put that in a meme.
Yeah, that's a meme. That sounds good, bro.
Put that in a fucking meme, Dane.
Today we have a really interesting guest on board. For the first time ever, we've got someone who's so driven, so ambitious, a true entrepreneur from what we've read and heard. He goes by the name of Greg Segal. Greg, welcome to the Load Shed podcast.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bro, welcome. Can I just ask you to put that on the coaster?
Are you scared he's going to drop it?
No, I just...
Does he eat it?
It's a nice table.
Okay, stop one more time.
That's dangerous.
Leave that-
Guys, we're ever going to start this
leave
thing.
that
We're going to
on
be here
the
till 10
coaster.
tonight, just chatting,
Bro,
drinking
come
here.
on.
Good, bro.
That's fine.
That's
There's no
a vibe.
problem. There's no problem.
Okay.
Okay, we're in the mix.
Chilled vibes.
the
You know
noise.
what kills Greg? Let me tell
me.
you what kills Greg. It's
Me.
it's the intro.
The intro.
It's
Okay,
the
fuck
intro.
it.
Hit the intro. Hit the intro.
Try
Good, bro.
again.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
do
good.
the
Yeah,
noise.
you're
Do
good,
the
you're
noise.
good.
Do the noise.
The Load Shed Podcast.
We have a really cool guest today. Ambitious, driven, entrepreneur, real guy who says, I'm going to pick my shit up and make it happen. Greg Segal. Welcome to the Load Shed podcast, Greg.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Okay, so we've never had a person of your caliber. We've got some range
We've got a range.
in terms of industries, but this is the first time we're coming into this industry.
We're coming for the insurance boys.
Yeah.
That's me.
So, Greg, who are you? What do you do? And why is it important?
Good questions. So yeah, I mean, right now what I'm doing, I'm the head of distribution and a director of an AI life tech insurance business called OneSpark.
Nice.
Yeah, looking to rock the industry, make some
Nice.
noise, make it happen.
AI life insurance.
Yeah.
What is that? How does that work? I've never heard of anybody else doing artificial intelligence life insurance.
Yeah. I've
What
only
is that?
seen like edits on Instagram with
Yeah.
artificial intelligence.
Yeah, like they
pictures
do
and things.
AI stuff. So what is AI insurance?
Yeah, I think a good way to look at it is like, if you look at the industry as a whole, okay, you have your traditional players.
Yep.
And we all know the big traditional corporate boys.
Yeah.
And then you have your fintech players, right? So your traditional players, long underwriting, manual paperwork. The questions are, they not binary. So, you ask a question, do you have cholesterol? Yes or no. There's no further engagement with the client on that subject matter.
Sure.
Then you have, the fintech players that just eliminates everybody with pre-existing conditions and like, we'll give you cover today. So what we do is we want to understand you like as a person, So Chuck's, your journey will be different to Josh's journey, different to my journey. the way you answer a certain question will determine the next question that comes up.
Hector.
At the end of the journey, we use the AI and the algorithm to understand your health needs, your financial needs, and then we'll recommend almost as close as we can to the perfect amount of cover for life insurance, disability cover, illness cover, and income protection.
Okay, so let's just backtrack quickly. This is a questionnaire that is developed by AI, or developed by you using AI to ask us about, the normal insurance questions we would normally get asked, but it's tailored.
Tailor-made.
100%. But I mean, the amount of detail that it dives into is like astronomical. Hundreds of millions of data points. Not just your standard questions that you use to in all your traditional insurance companies. It dives into a huge amount of detail. So, it's been incredibly experienced developers and actuaries and doctors that have been working on these questions. So, a question as simple as like, do you take chronic medication to manage your illness? If you answer yes to that, there could be 6 or 7 sub-questions, maybe one sub-question, depending on the way you answer. Everybody has a unique life in South Africa, and every single insurance application needs to show that respect to that individual. That's what the AI allows you to do.
Wow.
Okay, let me tell you about insurance quickly. I classify myself as a young person, but Winston taught me that actually we're not in the young.
We're old.
In the young sector.
We
Oh,
are.
Josh, you're still young. Man.
Yeah. But when I started working, this insurance game came through. So it was life cover, dread disease, income protection, all that stuff. All of a sudden, as you start working, that you get brought in with those conversations. So how the youngsters now that are getting into the workforce, how would you say it's beneficial for them to actually do this, to get involved in those different types of insurances?
Okay. So it's a great question. So I think that, every single person is different with their own unique set of needs. Okay. But a young professional, I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake. Okay. So you'll be a young professional. You say, I don't have debts. I don't have a mortgage. I'm young. I'm still fit. I'm still healthy. I don't need life cover.
Exactly.
I don't need life cover.
Yeah.
And maybe you're right. You don't need life cover. But what's the most important asset you have as a young professional that's starting out to work?
Your life.
Your future
Your
income.
future, okay.
Close. But
Income.
your future
Alright, cool.
income. Your life is important, but your future income is the biggest asset you have. You may not have the car, you may not have the house. What you do have is your future expected earnings.
Yeah.
So as a young person, okay, you take like a young professional lawyer, for example, just finished studying, 24 or whatever.
Sure.
Their expected future earnings is very, very high. They need to indemnify that. If something were to happen tomorrow, we live in South Africa, the highest claim stats are accidental cover.
Wow.
You don't know what's going to happen on the road tomorrow. And if something were to, God forbid, happen to you, you want to receive that lump sum payment today. Or alternatively, you want it in the form of an annuity payment, in the form of income protection. So I think the biggest mistake people say is, I'm young, I'm healthy, I don't need this. Because you're young and healthy, that's the time you should take it, because you can get the cover. What I've seen in the industry so much, when do people take out the cover? When it's too late.
It's too late.
Sure.
And they lack that awareness, because I can tell you for free, you get to a stage in your life where the money's coming in. Like, let's just say you're a young professional.
Yeah.
The money's in. You're making big bucks. You're not even thinking about how to cover yourself. And I think there's a lack of awareness in there, because when you start having children, and you turn 35, 40, then you're like, okay.
Something's gotta give,
okay. And now that premium is actually quite high. That's actually what happened to my dad. So exactly. So obviously with my dad, it was a different era, but as he was nearing retirement age, at like, he had 15 years to go, let's just say.
Yeah.
Then he was like, flip, actually, I don't have enough money to sustain me when it's all over.
Yeah.
And that's just a retirement factor to it. But you're right. What happens if you get in a car accident and shit like that?
So I think like the biggest problem, and again, I'll go on, like people think it's a life insurance business. I need life cover. It's not just about the life cover. Disability cover, dreaded disease cover, income protection. We sell these as standalone products.
Yeah.
And there might be someone that has no debt, that has no dependence. You're 100% right. You don't need life cover. but take out the income protection, take out the disability, take out the illness. You see youngsters I see the stats, people, we all think we're invincible, but you hear the horror stories of the accident that happened and, it's a life-changing event, or the illness that you thought you could never get at 30 years old. Time goes on, we're getting a bit older now.
Yeah.
And you're right, Chucks, if you get in at, let's say 35, 40, you're getting in at a higher rate.
Yeah, you got to pay.
Yeah, you got to pay, man. So when you're younger, that's when it's most affordable. You're most likely to get the cover. And then you stand in good stead going forward.
And you know what I've noticed in funerals, when family members die and stuff like that, there's a big fight.
Yeah,
because things are expensive now. Nobody was expecting things to cost so much money.
Yeah,
and that's when it actually hits you like, oh flip! If you're dead, I know you're dead. You've shut down, but you don't want this burden to be with the family arguing, okay, listen, we need 10K for the coffin, we need 5K for the memorial thing, we need this, we need this, we need this. And people only see that once it hits.
When it hits, yeah.
So that's actually what life covers about.
So when there is a life-defining moment, okay, so that could be somebody gets cancer, somebody passes away, somebody's in a bad accident. The last thing that you want your family to ever worry about is financial security, whether it's a big amount to sustain a lifestyle, whether it's to cover debt, or if it's to organize a funeral. You need that cash injection to alleviate that financial stress. It's unbelievably important. So our business, there is two distinct divisions in the business. We have the life and AR side of it, and then we also have our funeral side of the business. That's made up of funeral plans and then very smart plan range called our protector plan range. Huge cashbacks to South Africans, can really change the economy as a whole, but very passionate about both sides of the industry.
How big is this industry? When we look at the big players, you got your Momentums, you got your Discoveries, you've got your Clienteles. How big is it?
And we've got the One Life.
You got it's
OneSpark.
OneSpark.
Yeah.
No, there's One Life as well.
Yeah, there's also One Life.
Yeah. Well done. So, South Africa,
give me monetary value, by the way.
Monetary value. So, I don't want to say anything that I can't be held truthful to.
Yeah.
So
no, don't worry. The
that.
Facebook coaches will.
Yeah, no, exactly.
They'll coach you.
I'm very cognizant. South Africa, 1 in every 2 South Africans has a funeral policy.
Yeah.
Okay. There's something that is so important about having a glorified funeral in South Africa that runs rich through the South African heritage to its core. So having a glorified funeral is unbelievably important.
What is that?
So I think it's just it's leaving Earth in a respectable manner.
Okay.
And it's very big with South Africans. Eh?
No, huge.
I've seen it firsthand as well, especially in the black cultures. Funerals are celebrations,
Well, that's because the neighbors and everybody gets to chow, yeah. And oh gosh, they're already attacking me now. What I mean,
this one went over me.
No, what I mean about that is that sometimes there'll be a big funeral in a black household, but there's no invitation.
Yeah,
everybody's invited.
So every culture is obviously different, and I think everybody, death is a very, very sensitive thing for every single culture. Some cultures it's more about grief and loss. Others it's about celebration.
Yeah.
Some cultures there's after tears parties. It's so diverse. I think that's the beauty of South Africa. What we want to do as a business, and I think all insurers do in South Africa, you want to put the family in the position to experience the grief, the mourning, the loss, the celebration, whatever it is, in the manner that they want.
Wow.
And that's what it's about. In terms of the life side of the industry, there's probably about 10% of South Africans are insured in South Africa. It's a massive market. You can drive down Catherine Drive and you'll see every single insurer, on their road. But now OneSpark's there to play as well.
Yeah. So I've only recently learned of Pineapple. Pineapple's in my mind, has just joined this insurance place. And we know the other big boys, but now I've never heard or seen OneSpark, and it's actually quite interesting that it's quite, I want to say tailor-made, but it's quite direct.
Makes sense for you.
Yeah, it's quite direct to the type of person you're speaking to. So literally, when we were having this conversation, I was like, let me check this OneSpark out, and I don't think people really know about OneSpark. Why and how do we get people to know about what you guys do and why you guys are different?
Sure.
To the rest of the industry.
100%. So I think, a little brief history about OneSpark. Okay.
Go
So
for it.
we born out of another traditional insurer. Okay. Looking to change the game, young, innovative guys that really came together to incorporate AI and tech to really like shake the industry. So it was, we were born during COVID, which at the time was obviously like unbelievably scary, but it was the best thing that ever happened to us. Because while all your other traditional players in all market spheres like need to pivot, change, how do we do the work from home? How do we integrate this? We were born in it. Like we were a product of that environment. So we were very incredibly dynamic from day one.
From the get-go.
From the get-go, and we've been growing incredibly quickly, from a internal point of view as well as from a client point of view. It's about getting the foundational pillars correct. It's about making sure that the client experience is unbelievable. We don't want to be an insurer that is plastered everywhere, but then the client experience isn't there. So right now, all of our R&D, everything goes towards client experience. We're growing every single month. This year we were voted the most trusted insurer in South Africa. Last year we won the most innovative life insurer in the world.
Yeah.
So while these accolades, they're fantastic and it's proof of concept, which is great. Now we're at a stage where we're ready for the rest of South Africa to know about us. But from our point of view, don't explode until you're ready. Don't tell people about you until you can give them the service that you have to give them. Like for me, I've been in service my entire life. Like what I do is I provide people with peace of mind. That is what I do. When people go to sleep at night, they know they're protected. They know that their family is protected. They know if something had to happen on the worst day of their lives, when a loved one is gone, that they're taken care of. And once that is ready and it is there now, then we can go and explode from a marketing point of view. But for me, it's about getting everything right internally first, and I believe we're there now.
Wow, I feel like you guys are big on the human factor.
Huge.
And you guys actually understand what it is to be a South African. From what you've said, all in all, like the tailor-made concept of the brand as it is, compared to others where it's yes or no. And then you go to the next page and you say yes or no, and you say yes or no, yes or no. You guys, there's that option of saying yes, it's not yes, and it's not no.
Yeah.
It's something else. And then it takes me down that trajectory,
100%. Well, I mean, the human part of it is everything. I mean, one of the core cultural philosophies of what our company stands for is people. Like and you'll see it on our Instagram and wherever it is, but we like to say, we are people, not policy numbers.
Wow.
Like that's very important. People say you got this many policies, this many policies. It's people. It's people's lives. And I think you realize that at claim stage, when you're starting out in the industry as a young financial advisor, you're trying to sell policies until you get that phone call and it's a claim. Then you realize, it really hits home. Did I give the right financial advice? Is this person going to bed at night knowing they're protected? So the human element is incredibly, incredibly important. And
I like that.
Very, very proud, patriotic South Africans.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Chris Rock. He said insurance basically means in case shit. So in case shit happens, you're gonna need these guys.
You're gonna need it.
Yeah, flip. So I'm busy thinking about that, and I'm like, flip. We never know until it actually happens.
For sure.
What
would you say is the most important insurance for a young individual to have, right?
Yeah.
You age, you've just finished your degree.
So give me a scenario here. Okay?
Right, you're 24 years old, you finished your honors, you've got a BCom accounting, you start working corporate.
You get a good lobola rate.
You've got a good lobola rate and increases as well. You know what I mean?
You got me as well, so give you a discount.
There we go.
Yeah.
So what is the insurance as me as a young 24-year-old kid going into work needs? What's essential?
Okay.
Before you answer that, just to load on to Josh's question.
Now we double barrel.
Yeah. I just want to
Double
load
it.
onto it because some of our listeners are going to be like, oh, flip insurance. What is it in terms of what you're asking?
Yeah, what is insurance?
Because everybody thinks, hey, I'm getting the bill, I'm getting the salary, and the first thing I'm going to buy is a car. So I just want to load that on it to just describe that scenario in What holistically? Yeah.
Like you're 24, you've started working corporate. Now, Mr. Segal's team gives you a buzz.
Not even corporate.
Wherever you're working, bro.
You've decided you're gonna do some cool digital digital
You're
content
just loading
creation.
too much, bro.
Sorry, I'm just thinking. You decided you're doing digital content creation.
OnlyFans. You're starting
Yeah.
OnlyFans. You're
Let's
24
say-
years old. You're starting OnlyFans. What insurance do I need for OnlyFans? Tell me right
the
now.
point is that you don't have to.
This ass is not insurable. You can't pay for this thing. So now you're 24 though, and you actually need insurance. What is the most important policies to have in place? Do not load and stop.
All I'm
it.
saying is
Stop it.
you're making money. You're 24. You're making money.
Yeah,
Put
you're
it
getting,
in
you're
that-
getting
in
a
that-
you're
in
getting
that
a young
respect.
45.
Yeah.
A month.
A young 45.
You know what I mean? Just a young quick
Who's 24
45,000.
making 45K?
You're the accounting kids.
My gosh. Okay.
Go to corporate. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
see, I
touching
bet,
that nicely, boy.
24 making 45. All right, let's go. Let's go.
So in that case, again, so you would use our algorithm, you jump into the AI, okay? Because I could sit here and tell you, I know the answer, but the AI will give it to you perfectly, okay? So young 24-year-old, first what we need to understand, okay? I need to understand his family history.
Yeah.
I need to understand how much he's earning. What is his qualification? I need to understand, I need to know is he on chronic medication?
Sure.
Questions around COVID, multiple questions about his
Yeah.
health. I then need to understand him from a financial point of view.
Sure.
Does he have any debt? Does he have any financial dependence? Does he split the expenses with his spouse? And what is the split? Is it 50-50? Is it 100-0? And then I'll be able to generate the output. But to answer your question, a young 24-year-old, the biggest asset a young 24-year-old has is his future potential earnings.
Wow.
That is what it is. Okay. If he's got a bond and he's got a car and lacquer, he's doing well, man. Then we need to have another conversation.
Yeah.
But if he's got no debt, no financial dependence, you are ensuring that income. It's the biggest asset you have. How are you doing that? You're doing it through lump sum disability. So if something were to happen to me today, I want to earn all my future salaries up front today. Okay. I need illness cover. I know you have medical aid. Medical aid covers ongoing hospital costs. This is a lump sum payout for a life-changing event. Okay. And then finally, you need income protection. So income protection, we pay out 100% your net of tax cost to company until the age of 65. That person is comprehensively insured. Where other insurers fall short is they'll sell life cover to that oak. That's the problem. That's the problem. And that's why by using this algorithm, you'll get the correct advice.
Yeah.
Because it won't recommend the life cover. It won't load you and sell you the bells and whistles. It'll tell you, okay, you're 24, you're a lawyer, you earn 45 or 24, lacquer, okay?
Living.
living. What you need is, the recommendation would probably be a minimum of 10 million Rand disability cover. And I know that sounds a lot.
Yeah.
Disability is like the biggest shortfall in insurance is disability cover because people think it's in case I get disabled. It's in case you can't work. Change the way of thinking.
Because I was just about to say to you,
Yeah.
I'm 24.
You think in wheelchair.
There's not a chance. I'm 24.
you're
I'm
fit,
earning
you're strong, you're
45K. I'm gymming. I'm doing this. I'm like, nah. I'm not gonna get on a.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get on a wheelchair.
I'm two-stepping at
cancel
Onyx
the
on
disability.
Fridays, boy. What are you saying?
Cancel disability. Focus on something else. What the heck? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's in case you just can't work.
If you cannot work, we'll pay your salary today.
Yes, but
sure.
I feel like some insurance companies are not gonna do that, bro. I won't lie. They're not.
What, pay the claim?
Yeah.
Legally, they have to.
So, I mean, it's based on claims criteria.
Yeah.
So
you see
the
now.
lump sum payment is based on permanent disability.
Flip.
Oh, one of these insurance companies, I won't mention their names.
Mention their names.
No,
Why
I'm
are you
not
not
gonna mention
mentioning
it
their
because
names?
it's a touchy one.
Mention
But
their names.
Listen, so anyways, I was on it. I'm paying medical aid every month. Cool. And I got robbed, right? In Joburg, which everyone does at a time in their lives.
You didn't got robbed, bro.
No, you haven't, bro. Unicorn.
Then you haven't been living there
Yeah,
long
you
enough.
haven't been living there. You've been
You haven't
staying in your
been living
apartment.
in Joburg, yeah.
Anyways, I changed my bank account because I was like, I was just too panicked. It was my first job. I was like, no, what? I'm gonna change all my debit orders to a new account. Cool. And I did it online where I changed my details. It obviously didn't go through somehow. And they didn't notify me.
Okay.
Zero notification that the debit order didn't go through, And after, I think it was like 30 days, they called me and they were like, listen, your cover's gone,
Lapsed.
right? So I was like, but this is my problem. That's why I changed it online. And they were like, yeah, but it's gone. So if you want to come back again, you're gonna have to rejoin. So you're gonna have to pay the rejoining fee. If I give it with the name of what they're talking about, then you guys don't know who they are. But I had to basically pay a rejoiner. I'm not saying it's their fault, and I'm not saying it's mine, but it's somebody's fault.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
But I had to rejoin the
vitality
shit.
kind of thing. Carry on.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You know
sounds
what
like it's
I
a
mean?
vitality
So I
kind
was
of
like, "Yo, guys, what's happening?" And then afterwards, I was like, let me actually look at insurance properly now and see where I want to be. And I found a place that I actually like now, and they gave me the opportunity to find that place. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's so important for you guys to make sure you don't give someone an opportunity to second guess or to change. And I feel like you guys have sort of got that perfect with this AI thing that's got me intrigued now. Because now it's sort of saying, Josh Dukwa, cool, shop. You have tattoos, you don't like to go out, you stay at home, you don't play too much reckless stuff. This is what works for you. You don't need that. You don't need tour cover.
And not only that, man, it's going to change with you. So it's not just this year, it's not just one off. It's
Oh, so
dynamic.
it changes.
It changes with you. It's life insurance that changes with you.
So
every other insurer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Every other insurer, it's a static contract.
Sure.
You come in, Josh Dukwa or whatever, you take out your cover.
Yeah.
If you don't have a financial advisor that's on it every single year and says, Josh, how have your needs changed? How, like, tell me about yourself. Are you married? Have you got kids now? Do you have another one? Do you have any debts? You know? If they're not on it, your cover's not going to change. It's going to go up at CPI. It's not going to stay real. Our AI algorithm does that automatically.
Exactly.
So it's changed the game.
But how important is that face-to-face versus AI? Some would argue that it's not personal. Some would argue that.
100%. And it's a valid argument.
Yeah.
So my rebuttal to it would be, we have a very big internal advisor force. This is not cutting advisors out. This is empowering advisors to be successful.
Okay.
This is empowering advisors to use tech to give the correct financial advice, to issue policies quicker. You know, 65% of our clients get through without needing a medical based on the way you answer the questions.
Wow.
So, you know, from a client's experience point of view, instead of 3 weeks, we're looking at 15 minutes. I could issue a policy for you before you finish your water there.
So here's my
good.
that's tea. But
I just don't know how to milk. I don't know how to put the milk thing. You know what I mean?
You don't even glasses.
You can see I've been single for a long time. I can't make nice tea, bro. I struggle there, but
here's my thing though, Greg, when it comes to this, is that the people who will be able to answer the questions on AI.
Yeah.
First question is it in different languages? The next question is, if you think about it, I mean, we've got a lot of lower LSM, as what people would describe it as, with people that don't have insurance and can't afford it. So how do you guys capture them? Can we?
Yeah.
And is your AI in a different language?
So that's the first time I've ever been asked the question, is your AI in a different language?
Really?
So props, well done.
Oh, sure.
It's in English. However, we do have a multicultural set of financial advisors that can assist anybody in any language in South Africa. So we will be able to assist.
It's worth changing. It's worth trying to translate it, though, to be honest.
No, for sure. I think it's great advice. I'm going to take that advice.
Because then you can capture that audience.
No, for sure. I think it's brilliant, man. But yeah, we do have just bilingual financial advisors can assist across the board, which is fantastic.
yeah.
Remind was the second part of your question?
Oh, sorry. Let me tell you why. Because my mom just retired, and she has a financial advisor.
Yeah.
So she says to me, I'm not going to this financial advisor by myself
Yeah.
because I don't understand what she's saying. So I have to come there to be like, all right, okay, I listen in English and then I translate to her in Zulu. So that's why I'm thinking there's a gap there.
No, for sure.
You know
Otherwise,
what I
we
mean?
just bring you to every single meeting.
Oh, there you go. Well, yeah. There's a little commission
But
involved.
in terms of the second part of your questions, our product, it's designed for every person in South Africa.
Okay, so
We're
it's
an incredibly patriotic company. Our policies, they range. You can take out life cover is a very specific thing. It's a very personal thing. For sure. Everyone's needs are different. We all have unique lives. Everyone in this room. Okay. Somebody might, maybe, R1 million is the cover that they need. Maybe someone else is 100,000. Maybe someone else is 50 million. So, based on your affordability, we will provide you with the correct sums assured. Simple as that.
I see you can
It's
even
agnostic.
start. Yeah, you
an
can.
insurer of the people.
Yeah, you can start as little as $30.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone is getting 29 Rand Vodacom airtime right now when they could actually have that cover.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I just found a gap for this guy. do. Change the language and see how you can do that.
You need
with
to get
the
a new
AI.
host.
Yeah,
For
there you
sure.
go.
You're out. Hey, Mo, Dane, you in. Get out of here. So I know with insurance, there's a lot of things that are not covered.
Yeah.
What's the most, okay, let me rephrase. What's one of the most dreadful conditions to have as a South African that's come up a lot that you've seen? What kills you the fastest and what, you get what I'm saying basically?
Yeah. So the most claimed condition.
Yeah.
So the most claimed condition, based on the insured population of South Africa, okay, would be accidental. So accidental
you
death,
said that,
motor vehicles, whatnot. And then cancer.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hectic.
cancer. Specifically breast cancer for women and prostate cancer for men.
Wow.
Yeah, to get specific.
So it's quite
Yeah.
it's quite big in South Africa. The stats.
Those are out in the insured population, those are the highest claim stats.
Are there certain conditions, let me ask, that are not covered?
Are you saying that are excluded at claim
Yeah.
stage, or you won't be able to get a policy at all?
You
in the
won't be able
beginning?
to get a policy at the beginning.
So there's a host of factors. You know, it's
Yeah.
there's based on lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, if your recreational time is too extreme,
Yeah.
it will be very difficult to get cover.
Yeah.
You know, we can dive into management of chronic conditions. If
Sure.
they're not managed correctly,
Sure.
it'll be difficult to insure. BMI is a factor, both high and low.
God damn
Are
it.
we fine?
We screwed.
We're in trouble. We're in
Yes.
trouble.
So,
Yes.
but again, I think the most important thing to be cognizant of is it's understanding each case.
Yeah.
I can't generalize it. I can't. That goes against everything we've built.
But that's what
I can't give it a blanket answer.
That's what conventional guys do, though. Without mentioning any names, that's what other insurances do. It's a tick box. It's like a flow chart almost for them. Do you have this? Yes. Then the next question is this. Do you have this? Yes, yes, yes. And then it's generalized to be like, all right, those who have answered yes and no in these questions have X and Y, and hence the premium. You know, so that's where your thing is actually revolutionary with the AI. You know,
It's incredibly personalized cover to the maximum extent.
Yeah.
So you can't give a blanket answer to
Yeah.
every condition is managed. So I'll give you an example. Okay. So we call them trees, because the way you answer one question determines how the next set of questions will be asked.
Sure.
So there's a question in our journey and it says, do you use any medication for ongoing condition? Okay. So let's say, assume somebody has high cholesterol. So you say yes. So it opens up our next tree.
Yeah.
And it says, what is the condition? So you type in high cholesterol. Okay. Then the next question will say, have you seen a doctor or a nurse in the last 6 months? Click yes to that. Then it opens the next question. It'll say, was the reading equal below to 6? Okay. So now if you say, no, it wasn't, you'll be referred for a medical. If you say yes, you'll get the cover. So it's all about how that individual manages their condition.
Yeah.
And every case is different.
Hectic.
And every single subset of illness or accident or surgery will have ongoing questions. And I challenge you to find something that's not on the system. See crazy stuff.
yes.
So you're there for every South African?
We're there for every South African.
Why did you start this thing?
Because it sounds like a lot of stuff to start.
Yeah.
So like what? My personal,
What's
So-
your journey been?
my journey.
What's gotten you to where you are today?
Okay.
How's this whole business mind of yours come together?
From day one.
Not
day one.
We can talk about after day
18.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, 18.
18,
There we
Where it
go.
all started.
18-year-old Craig
18-year-old Greg.
with an 8-pack.
No. I was a very different Greg. So, when I finished school, I was unbelievably lucky, man.
Yeah.
I finished school 2009. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love football. Right? Like see the Ronaldo. Yeah. Like I love football. I'm
Ronaldo or
obsessed, man.
Messi, quickly.
Ronaldo.
There we go.
No matter what he did.
Now we on.
Continue.
No matter what he did.
He's at the top.
I'm a United boy, so he always goes United, Ronaldo, Madrid. I'm not a Liverpool, Messi, Barca.
Yeah.
No chance.
We're not about that nonsense.
No, not about that life, man. So anyway, I finished school and it's 2010. So I said to my parents, I want to take the year off. It's the World Cup, man. I'm 18 years old.
Yeah.
The
The best World Cup ever.
ever.
I'm
Listen,
ever.
in terms of the actual games, not
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
because of the Jabulani.
Yeah, I was doing some other things. Diego Forlan was doing magic.
He was, and Shabalala.
Yeah,
forever.
Sevilla
I was
as
at
well.
that game, bro. That was
Really?
the best, one of the best moments of my whole life. Peter Jury's
Wow.
commentating.
Yeah.
That was the best. Anyway, so my parents were always very, very supportive of me. They They always encouraged me to do things. But the gap year was something where it was a bit shaky. You know,
I can do what I want to do.
No. It wasn't, not cheeky to that extent. But my dad said to me, if you want to do it, do it. But you got to get a job, man, obviously.
Sure.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I've always loved people. And I've always loved engaging with people, building relationships. Like I love meeting new people. I love it,
Yeah.
Fiance kills me sometimes, but that's the way I'm wired. It's the way I'm built, So anyway, I needed to make money because I wanted to travel. I wanted to go see the world. 18-year-old Greg wanted to go check everything out in Europe and see what it's all about. So World Cup's coming. How can I make money? World Cup merchandise. What is every single person going to have in the stadium that's going to make South Africa the most unique World Cup ever? Vuvuzelas. So I got very lucky. There was this guy. That had the retail license. You guys, you might be too young, man. It was called Sockzella. So it was the Vuvuzelas with the flags on them.
Yes, I know them.
It was like that synthetic.
And I'm not that young.
Sweet, man. Okay. So anyway, it was called Sockzella. So we had the retail license for Sockzella.
Sure.
The guy said to me, you pay me like 50 cents a Vuvuzela or something. And that was my first taste of go hustle, you go out there. We used to do just awesome things, man. I used to walk through the Bremer Flea Market with the Vuvuzela on my back because I knew all the shops would say, hey, we want to sell that. We want to sell that. So I started doing that. And then we supplied all the cardies in South Africa. And then we got into Sportsman's Warehouse. And then the thing exploded, man. And became that became the Vuvuzela because then it moved into corporate branding. So then we made all the corporates in South Africa had our Vuvuzela. And then we got very creative, The one day we were trying to sell to all the car dealerships. And we went into BMW and we saw them giving out car mirror socks. You remember the South African flags? Yes,
I've actually got some.
Yeah. So, and we knew they were giving them out for free. So we're like, no, these socks are going to run out, 100%. So we went and we test drove a Mini Cooper. We were 18. And we took the car mirror, we took the mirror socks back to our factory. And then we manufactured thousands and thousands and thousands of car mirror
Chinese
socks. And then we became the biggest suppliers of car mirror socks. And then, that was amazing, man. And then I got to travel. I mean, I watched the whole World Cup. It was the best experience of my life, man. That was just the most beautiful time in South African history. It was just, unbelievable.
The nation was something else back then.
Bro, just walking through the streets, everything just pumping and how happy and joyful I was. When Chabalala scored that goal, when I watch it now, I still get emotional. Right? Unbelievable. Technical pass. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So then, I traveled, came back, and then from there, that was the sales bug that really, really grabbed me, man. And then I went corporate for a little bit. I worked at a hygiene company, big corporate as well. But from that point of view, it didn't align with me. But I've learned every step of the way, there's been a different story every step of the way. So the Vuvuzelas was the hustle. Literally, when Mozambique played against Portugal at Wanderers, I was side of the road hawking, selling Vuvuzelas. Went to News Cafe. I was like, drinks on me, guys, we'll go.
Yeah.
So then I joined the corporate selling hygiene products. The only reason I joined that job was for a mentor. I chose somebody. I wanted to work for this guy no matter what, man. If he was involved in selling chairs, I was joining him. If he was at the biggest corporate in the world, I was joining him. I didn't care what I did. I wanted to learn, man, because I believe having the correct mentor is more important than any education.
For sure.
So I will die for that, man. Even today, on my shield, go out. So I resigned after a year because he actually left his position. So my whole reason for being there just changed. So I left. And then I got into insurance. I was in short-term insurance, working for an independent short-term insurance company, insuring cars, houses.
So that's what short-term insurance is, just for the guys who don't know.
Yes. So short-term is your asset-based insurance.
Sure.
So tables, desks, chairs, cars, houses,
phones.
Lots of claims for those, man.
Yeah, I see.
So I was in underwriting, I was in claims. It was tough, man. It was grinding. And then I started to dabble in the life insurance business a bit. And then an opportunity came my way while I was working in the insurance industry, because I've always been one to expand my network. That's the most important thing. My journey and my story is based around people and relationships, So the more people you meet, the more opportunities you get. It really is as simple as that. That's quick maths, okay? So my one mate was working at Investec, okay? His name is Ryan, okay? How's Ryan?
What's up, Ryan?
What's up, Ryan?
What's up?
So he called me one day and he's like, I'm telling you, there's an opportunity here. We need to supply corporates and SMEs in South Africa with daily, just fresh fruit. Okay, just a box of fresh fruit. Simple as that. Okay, there was another big competitor at that time, but they were the only guys in the market. So he approached me, and it started off as a side hustle for us.
What year is this? Sorry.
This is that's very important.
Yeah.
Huge part of the story.
Yeah.
This is 2019.
Okay.
So it's like Jan 2019. Okay, so we start the business. We got one truck. We partnered up with an awesome supplier, absolutely legends. We partnered up with them. We start with one truck, and it's a side hustle, man. We supplying to somebody's going to the market every single morning at City Deep, picking up the fruits, packaging it in the boxes, goes in a refrigerated vehicle to the corporates. We started with like one corporate, one truck. Fast forward a year later, man. We probably started end of 2018. A year later, we've got 14 trucks. We've got 14 trucks. We're supplying 130 companies.
COVID.
So now, March 2020. Okay?
Yeah, that's COVID.
I had an email address at that company. It was greg@grabberfruits.co.za. Don't message it anymore. Shut down.
It's gone.
So anyway, I get to work one day and my mate Ryan phones me and he says, Greg, do you think this COVID thing is going to affect our business? And I was like, nah, Ryan. And I never ever got emails to that account. No one's going to email you and say, Greg, that Apple I had was just was unbelievable. The only emails I got was bad.
Oh, I hate it.
There was never thank you or anything like that. And that's in the service industry. That's how it is, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, March 2020, I get to the office and I just check that Grab a Fruit email address is just pumping. I've got 80, 90, 100, 150. Cancel. Immediate effect.
Sure.
Whole business.
Cancel orders.
Overnight.
Gone.
Yeah. So, but that was it was incredibly, it was the most amazing experience. That was a proper startup, and the most human form of startup. That's like caveman stuff.
Yeah.
I bought this fruit and I'm going to sell it to you at this price. It was just so amazing, and it was focused around people and wellness, and we sent such an amazing message, and people bought into our philosophy, and it was unbelievable. But then, then the entire world, everything changed, and office life has never been the same again.
For sure.
Because people have said you guys could have carried on. You can't. Because even at OneSpark now, I know how many employees we have and how many staff we have. And I can't tell you how many people will be at work on a given day because the culture has changed, and I think any corporate in South Africa can't answer that question. Used to say, there's 500 people coming to work. Now it's this division comes in 3 times a week. This one has to come in twice a month. So you can't manage your orders correctly. So it was sad, man. We lost the business, but we one story in it. There's all over South Africa, but I can relate to an extent.
Where's Ryan now?
Ryan? No, Ryan's a hustler as well. He's doing his thing.
Still on it.
Not in the fruit game anymore.
Yeah. So hustling's always been a part of you, eh?
Yeah. It's definitely in the blood. I love a challenge, man. Making things happen, and I think with OneSpark, that was the ultimate challenge, because then I was, I got the opportunity to second to London. I was there for a couple months, and I was working at an insurance company. That was my first time. I was working at an insurance company. And I saw the other side, and then I came back, and then the co-founders and co-CEOs, Greg and Josh, they gave me a call one day while I was working at Lionel Isaacs. Sorry, I know it's a bit all over the place, but I hope you can follow. So while I was working at Lionel Isaacs, and they phoned me, and I loved what I did because I was in the short-term space. I had my life business that I started, and I was a happy guy. I loved the people I worked with. And then Greg and Josh called me and they said, we want to talk to you about this concept that we have. And they pitched it. They was not pitched. They explained to me their story because they were in America doing a lot of market research that side, because we landed up partnering up with Gen Re, because that's the world's largest reinsurance company owned by Berkshire Hathaway. So they pay all our claims, which is an amazing partnership. So they gave me a call and they were explaining to me their concept of what they wanted to do to really change South Africa and the whole landscape of financial services here. And, there's been 2 times in my life it's been love at first sight. One was with OneSpark and Shannon as well. Got to give the shout out.
For sure.
You got it. So it was love at first sight, So I bought into the vision, the philosophy, their drive, their experience, everything they stand for as people, as leaders, and what we really want to do for South Africa. So yeah, I started working on it, like 10% of my day just on the side, then 20, then 40, then 50, then 7. Then next thing I knew I was working on OneSpark all the time, doing my other job, at night.
Yeah.
And when you lose passion for something, the game changes.
It changes,
Sure. Yeah.
You got to, like, if you can find something that you love doing, like, it changes everything, because then it doesn't feel like work anymore. Like what you guys are doing now. It's a beautiful thing, You can see you guys are, it's awesome what you guys are doing. Like, I've watched a lot of it and I've seen you, like, literally from the start. So it's been unreal. Well done. But when you enjoy what you do, it doesn't feel like work anymore. And that's when the success actually follows.
Yeah.
It's like the strangest thing, when you're chasing it and chasing it, like, for me, like, success is when preparation and timing cross paths and a bit of luck.
Yeah.
a lot of luck.
A lot of luck.
So
of
and
blessings.
then so I left the previous company that I was at. I still have an amazing relationship there too.
Yeah.
I never look to burn bridges with people. You never know, life is round. It will always come. You always need to. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to just keep your relationships alive. Mentors are everything. I got a handful. And for me, like, that's been a huge driving part of who I am.
Are you a mentor?
So funny enough, I am one. It was the first time ever. It was actually 2 weeks ago. I was giving a sales 101 presentation, just like on the art of closing and good service.
It's one of those sell me your pen kind of conversations.
Sell me this pen.
Wall Streeting, man.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was one of those. Not as good as Jordan Belfort, but I gave it my best shot. And I explained to the team, and I said, having a mentor, it's everything, And we're very lucky now, because we live in an age where, with technology, I love Andy Elliott. I love Dan Locke. I don't have access to those people personally, but I can get all their content. It's like the game's changed there as well. You have to have a mentor. And then somebody in the room said, Greg, will you be my mentor? And now
you're like, God damn, what do you mean? I'm going to be your mentor.
No, so it's been an awesome relationship, and obviously the pressure is very high and the expectation is very high of him, but it's it's my first time, and I'm enjoying it, man. But that's on like a formal basis.
Yes.
Because it has to be formal.
Yeah.
So also being an insurance bureau, it's like, I feel like it's being a medical practitioner to an extent. I'm not trying to say it is, and I'm not trying to say it's not. But you guys also deal with a lot of grief.
Yeah.
Because the people often calling in are like, "Who listen?
Yeah.
Someone's passed away."
For sure.
So how's that been on you and your team as a whole? Like, constantly you're never dealing with hey, thanks for the insurance, man. It's great. I love paying that premium every month.
Similar
it's
to the
always
fruit
like,
business.
You know what I mean? It's always like,
hello, pizza.
This is
So
the problem.
It's an incredible journey. It's filled with a lot of grief, sadness, appreciation, gratitude, if the correct advice is given.
Sure.
Okay, I can't emphasize that enough. It's if the correct advice is given. A young financial advisor that starts off in the industry would typically, it's like about selling. I want to sell policies. That's what I want to do. But it's, it's people's lives. And I think the only time you realize that is when you have your first claim. Because when you have a claim, that's when it sinks.
Yeah.
So this person's passed away now. I need to make sure that family, on the worst day of their lives, when their loved one is gone, they are financially secured and protected. That's how you have to go into every single engagement. I'm not treating it as a sale. I'm treating it at claim stage to make sure that this person is perfectly protected.
Yeah, sure.
They need to have peace of mind that they are protected. I need to have peace of mind knowing I gave them the correct advice. And the penny really drops at claim stage. I've had clients that, it was unfortunate, man. I've had a client in particular that he once called me and, he said to me, I want to lower my cover. He said, I want to lower my cover for illness, for dreaded disease. And it was at like, I don't know, call it, I don't want to be held true to the amounts, but let's say it was 5 million rand illness cover. And then, so that will cover you for like your cancers, your strokes, your heart attacks, pay you out a lump sum. And he called me to reduce the cover. And, of course, there's affordability as well. So I got to try and find the medium between insurability and affordability. That's the most important thing in every single case. Okay. Yeah. And so we landed up reducing the cover. And then like 2 weeks later, he phoned me, like in the movies, he phoned me like 2 weeks later and said to me, you won't believe it. I've been diagnosed with cancer. So then, and then you get part of that journey with the person and you get really personal with their family as well. And then from being a financial advisor, you become like one of the most important people in their lives. And then, when he was at hospice, he was still calling me, making sure everything was still in place for his family. and then ultimately landed up passing away. So, and then your relationship moves from the person to the family. But it's all about giving the correct financial advice. And that's why AI is so important in this industry. You cannot sit down with a mate that says, Josh, you need X, Y, and Z. 100%. But let that mate have the tools to empower him to make the correct decisions.
Yeah. Yes, dude.
Nuts.
Rosemary and Ndlovu.
I had a feeling that this...
You know Rosemary and Ndlovu.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know about Rosemary and Ndlovu,
Yeah.
she took out a whole lot of life insurances for family members.
Yeah.
And then she organized to get them killed. It's a show on Showmax. Go watch
Really?
it.
Yeah.
And
Just on the N1, there's a big billboard.
There's a massive billboard that talks about Rosemary and Ndlovu
Yeah.
on
She was a policeman.
Showmax. And she was a policeman.
South Africa's a movie.
Now, this is a movie. What are your thoughts
Is
on
this
that?
real?
It's a real story, bro. So what are your thoughts on that story, man?
On that story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, from a human level, it's the worst of the worst.
Barbaric.
It's barbaric. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking family members, man. It was sisters.
Sisters and
cousins.
cousins
Yeah. So
boyfriends
from a
and
human
all.
level, it's I mean, it's up there with the worst that there can be. From an insurer point of view, it's about how do you mitigate that and ensure that never happens again.
I was literally about to ask you that.
Yeah. So for me, the way that you do it is through eliminating third-party payments. So
Okay.
you can't phone me and insure Josh's life.
Josh needs to phone you to ensure his
And
life.
I want his bank details.
Right.
And I want his
how
consent.
How do you do that, man?
What do
I
you mean?
don't
How
want
do
your number. I want Josh's, bro.
Yeah.
So you're going to say,
Simple.
no, not allowed. Not
No,
allowed.
if you phone me and say you want to take out a life policy on Josh, no, it won't pass go.
Do you think that's what the
That's
industry
like
is going to
attempted
do
murder,
now?
bro.
Yeah.
Basically.
Attempted
Well, it
murder?
was murder.
Because it gives that. You know
Well,
what I
just-
mean?
so-
It's like a flag to say,
No,
like, what are
but
you trying to do out here?
Sometimes you can see, I flip, my granny's, she's gone. She's got about 5
Oh, yeah,
years.
okay, I get you.
So let me just sort this out for the next 5 years. On her behalf, I'll get paid. Some people do it just...
Can you do that?
Some people do it to get money. Let's be honest. Some people, they get a lump sum.
So life cover, you 100% right. It's about what the need is based on. Is it debt? If it is debt, let's say you have 5 million rand bond, 5 million rand cover, cool. Then you get people that don't have debt in a very fortunate position that want wealth creation.
Yeah.
100%. It can
Exactly.
be used to offset estate duties. So saying I don't have any debt, but in the event of my passing, I want my family to have 2 million rand. And that is insurable interest. You can do that. But consent from the owner of the policy. The journey, the questions will be recorded with the owner of the policy.
Yes.
There will be no third-party payer.
So if the person's a cabbage already,
Well, you
There's not
can't.
much you
That's
can
too
do.
late. Otherwise,
Oh,
the
no,
premium's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be skyrocketed, surely.
What are you saying?
if the person can't speak, talk,
But they won't
they-
be insurable.
they're not
there you
insurable.
go.
No.
Okay.
So they wouldn't be able.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they had cover going into that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
My word. That Rosemary and Ndlovu story is...
Yeah, it's a terrible story.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, bro.
No, just it's on
hectic.
Showmax. It was a
She was on
terrible
the
story.
news. She's a policeman. She played
Where's
the
she
game
now?
properly. In prison.
Joe.
Hectic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in prison.
But Greg, like insurance, did it speak to you from the get go? Was it like something you wanted to do, or did it like has it changed over the years where you're like as you've grown up, you've realized like I have to do this because I have a duty? Like, have you experienced it firsthand where you've seen it play a role in your life?
Yeah.
The importance of it.
Yeah, for sure. So to answer your first question, yeah, you know how you're like born into your soccer team. Like
Yeah.
your dad says you support Man United. You follow
For
your
sure.
parents for two things. You know, it's who you support and who you bank with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So for me, you know, Man United, Standard Bank.
There we go. I'm on you. I'm with you.
So my dad was, he's always been in insurance.
Okay.
So I've been very fortunate that my dad is one of my mentors as well. So he's brilliant with people, and I've learned from him firsthand just in social interactions, and very, very lucky to be in that position. Very fortunate. And he was in insurance. So, you know, when I left the big corporates in the hygiene industry, I mean, I can talk about them. I was with Bidvest, and I loved it, man. It was awesome. So yeah, I worked for Bidvestana, and then when I left there, I joined Lionel Isaacs, and did I love it? At first, I'd be lying to you if I said
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
I'll give you a mad stat. 93% of financial advisors resign within their first year.
Wow.
Yeah, very high churn environments
Wow.
because it takes time. It takes time. And luckily for me, I had a mentor that explained that to me. So I bit the bullet and I pushed through and I pushed through and I pushed through. And then I realized that it's so much more than, someone phoning me and saying, my cell phone screen is cracked. Building relationships with people and, the opportunities come from that because you're meeting so many people, you're seeing so many different businesses.
For sure.
You're in such a fortunate position. And then the impact it's had on me personally, it hits very, very close to home. About 2.5 months ago, I lost my mom. So my mom, she's got an amazing story. It actually all ties together, so unintentionally. After I came back from that trip, after selling the vuvuzelas, okay, I got back to South Africa, and it was November, and my dad called me and he said to me, there's a spot in your mom's eye. But my dad's like this eternal optimist. Like you can tell him like, there's no water in the cup. He'll say, but you can still drink. Like that's the way he's wired. And it was very important for the way the story goes, that character trait. He said, there's a spot in your mom's eye. It's nothing to worry about. We're going to sort it out. And then, so she was diagnosed with ocular melanoma in November 2010. So it's cancer of the eye. Okay. So melanoma cancer is it's kind of like a skin cancer, but it was in her eye. It's very rare.
How does one get that?
I think it's just, for me, I can't give you a medical answer. I think with so many things, the way we live our lives, again, luck, I can't, there's obviously your clear cancers that have their hereditary risks. I don't believe ocular melanoma is one. Like I do get my eye checked every year now though. So she got diagnosed with that. And then, she started having her, and my parents, they were on a medical aid at the time. And, the most ironic thing ever, I'm in insurance, my dad's in insurance. And my mom didn't have dreaded disease cover. Like obviously, it's like the car salesman not having a car. It's like obvious. So unfortunately, she didn't have cover, but the medical aid, was amazing and pays for ongoing costs. But it's a huge cash burden on top of that. But I'll come back to that. So anyway, so it was in her eye, and then we went to Cape Town, and they put a radiator plate behind her eye to shrink the tumor, and unfortunately, she lost sight in her eye. It was in her right eye. And then, then you're in remission. And I've learned so much through this journey. You're in remission for a year. And then my dad would call me again and he said, no, it's spread. It's spread from the eye to her liver. And that's stage 4 because it's spread. So I went from her eye to her liver. And then, so my mom was stage 4 with optical melanoma cancer in 2011. So now, you're young and everything. I go and like Google. And, I was like, life expectancy, stage 4 melanoma. And it says like, 3 to 4 years. So you start like panicking. But then, again, like the mental psyche that I've learned through this journey, which I'll get to, is like, it's quite an empowering thing. So, it went from her eye to her liver, went back to her eye. She had her eye removed. Then after having her eye removed, it went to her bones. Then by some miracle, green light, all clear. Like the maddest journey you could ever imagine, like all clear for a while. And she was like clear, and like the way life works, like when she was cleared, it was like my sister's wedding. It was like the perfect time, just how life works. And then, it went, she had multiple liver surgeries and never ever got clear her liver, but she just kept fighting and fighting. And then in COVID, it went to her brain. She had a big brain tumor.
So it just came back, eh?
Yeah. That was the first time I went to the brain because we tried everything. We went overseas. We went everywhere to try and fix this. And some things you just can't, eh? Like that. You can't. So anyway, she had a big brain tumor in 2020, and that was tough because you can't go into the hospital. And my dad managed to make a plan though. He put on him. He's always making a plan.
Yeah.
So my dad made a plan and he went in, which was cool. And then they successfully got it out. And it was amazing. Like they got it out, and there was a chance she wasn't going to walk. There was a chance she wasn't going to talk, but she made it. She was sweet.
Wow.
So she got out of that, and then fast forward, to last year, it spread to her shoulder. And like you must know, you've got a 4-year lifespan, eh? She was diagnosed 2010. We're now in 2022. So there's a medical journal on her. It's called The Miracle of Melanoma. She like defied like a lot of odds, and it was amazing. So then, it spread to her shoulder and like rotted away her bone. And she had a full shoulder replacement last year. Obviously, like the side effects of radiation, chemo, and everything, lost all her hair. And then, so she had the full shoulder replacement. Then after that, I got engaged in January. It was very important for me for like my mother to meet the woman I was going to marry. And I had a horrible feeling. You know, you can sometimes in life, you just know when something's going to happen.
Dude.
You can't like, it's like an unexplainable thing.
For sure.
So anyway, that was very special to me, and she was there. And then, I went to a meeting with me and my dad and the oncologist because my sister's in Cape Town. So I went, and she said, you got 28 tumors of the brain. Tough stuff. And you're sitting in that room, and I'm sure a lot of people listening can relate. It's the worst position you can be in, because it's not you, it's them, and you can't do anything about it. It's your mom. So 28 tumors, and then my dad and my mom left the room, and my mom was saying, just give me 2 more years because my sister's having a baby in 2 months. In about 4 months from that date.
My sister is in my daughter.
My sister was having a baby, and it was like the first kid.
Yes.
It's just me and my sister. So that was the first kid. And then and I'm getting married in March next year. And then my dad and my mom left the room, and then this was the first time I ever did it. And I don't know why I did it, but I sat down with the oncologist and I said to her, I actually need to know straight, because I've never asked. And I was like, I need to know. My sister's having a baby. I'm getting married. How long does my mom have left? And she said, your mom's got 3 months. Like, she will not see the baby. She won't be at your wedding. And then I left the room, and obviously I'm shattered, I'm broken, but I also couldn't tell anyone, because I'm not telling my dad. I'm not telling my mom, obviously. I'm not telling my sister because she's pregnant and she can't worry
and
about
have that stress. So
the only person I told was Shannon, my fiance, and she was incredible and helped me a lot. And I kept that with me, man. And then unfortunately, she passed away on the 11th of July. And then where there is death, there's life. So my sister had a beautiful baby, India. She's gorgeous. My niece. And that's been incredible. I obviously would have loved my mom to have seen it and been there, but that's just the way life works. So where I can relate to it in a very long answer to your question, medical aid.
Wow.
Medical aid helps. It covers your day-to-day hospital costs. If you have illness cover, just dreaded disease cover, that pays you out a lump sum when you have that life-changing event, because I promise you, no matter how much money you have, cancer, with my personal experience, cancer it's ongoing. The medical aid will cover it to an extent. You need that extra lump sum to alleviate the financial burden. If you need to go overseas, if you need to go get radical treatments in India, you may have lifestyle changes. My mom, I know she, like, for her bath, for example, they had to be like a machine. And these all come at a cost. So for me, that was I think like the most ironic thing is like being in the industry and no one having it. But also I was too young when my dad should have told her to have the cover.
What was your relationship like with your mom, bro?
With my mom? Very special. My mom was very, very present woman. I've given her a lot of thought in her passing. I think when your parents are alive, you obviously take things for granted,
Sure.
My mom's irritating me. My dad, he's get out of my room, all that type of stuff. But looking back at it, obviously I wish I did a million things differently. Everybody does. But for me, with my mom, I had an amazing relationship with her. She was just so present. Like, I'm so blessed to, when I look back at that, I played a lot of sports when I was in school, like soccer, cricket, hockey, no rugby, unfortunately. I wasn't good, man.
What the hell?
No, I wasn't good. But like, she was at everything. So I look back at that, and I was so fortunate. I was so blessed.
Sure.
And now, you try to find like beauty in those moments, man. And it's still raw. It's 2 months ago, so it's so it's tough. But she was amazing, and very inspiring woman. You know, she was part of an organization called the DL Link, and that helps cancer victims. Like that's the type of person she was. She was like helping others with cancer. So she would go out, and somebody that just got diagnosed, she would mentor them. And like, you know, how to get through it mentally. And I can't express to you, like, when you go on a journey that long, from like stage 4 cancer for 13 years.
So many years.
Yeah, the mental strength you have to build, and you're forced to do it because you don't have a choice. The situation is not going to change. You have to adapt mentally, and that's where my dad was so important for me and my sister. So like we had a rule in this family. It was like an unspoken rule. It was not called, but if I had to label it as something, it was like the 1 day to cry rule. So it's 1 day. So you get the news, okay? 1 day to cry, and then it's action. You know, how am I moving forward? Which oncologists are we going to? What treatments are out there? What's the name of that drug? How are we going to go about it? And so like that was the mindset. It was 1 day to cry, and then it's full steam ahead. So yeah, it was like every time we got to the top of like one mountain, like you think like after the surgery, there was always like another mountain. The difference was like when you got to the top of the one mountain, like your legs were much stronger and you were fitter and you knew how to handle it better. But ultimately, yeah, so she lost her life. And yeah, it's tough, man. And, you know, if I had to relate it to my industry and what I do, it covers every element. You know,
Well, you
like
obviously get your resilience from your mom as well.
Yeah, no, of course, man. I mean, she's the ultimate warrior.
Yeah.
Ultimate.
What a strong lady, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Would you say that she's proud of you?
Yeah, that's a good question, bro. That's a deep question. I do, and I do think my mom would be proud of me. I think she was proud of me. You know, growing up, she always told me when I was doing wrong. She very rarely got involved. So when she did, I knew I was very wrong. You know what I mean? So I think my mom was proud of me. Yeah, yes, I do. And just going forward, I just got to just keep her dearly with me, and that's like becomes a huge part of my purpose and my drive.
For sure.
You know, when I don't want to do anything, like it can be a very small thing, you know, like at the gym, if I don't want to do like a rep, I like think of my mom. If I don't want to wake up early for something, I think of my mom. If I want to leave the office a bit early, I think of my mom. It like becomes my purpose for like everything. For sure. But like it can be from like the most basic thing to like the most complex, and it answers every question. So there comes beauty, man, in other ways, and then obviously through death, and my mom's personally, and being in the industry. So I mean, there's the funeral. So I mean that happens quick. You know, in my religion, it's the next day. So you need the cash, then, you know, and then everything helps. But if there's like one takeaway that I can give, it's like illness cover is like, it's of such vital importance. It can save your life. It can alleviate huge stress from your family through the most trying times you will ever go through. And you can take it as a standalone product. You don't need life cover, disability cover. So illness cover for me, I'm incredibly passionate about it. I focus a lot of like my time and energy towards like better cancer covers. And like, you know, I really want to be impactful in that sense. So my industry, to go back to the original question of like, was this industry like for you? I'm the luckiest guy in the world now, because now I know for sure that it was destiny for me. You know, I'm in a position where I can do my best to work with, you know, the brilliant people at OneSpark, whether it's actuaries, developers, and develop products that can really empower South Africa, change South Africa, and help lives, help people.
I think it's so important, man, that part of, sorry, I can't remember how much money you pay back after a certain amount of time.
Oh, the protector plan range.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you know, the youngsters and stuff like that will they don't want to see that debit order go through, especially if they know that there's nothing wrong with them. But I think that education part of, listen, bro, if you don't claim, you know, you'll still get something back.
100%.
I think that will help because, guys, it's such a different hit when it happens and you're not prepared for it. Man.
For sure, man. So those are called our protector plan range. So for example, we have the way I first want to talk through the product design and how we came up with it. Man. So we looked at like, if somebody were to claim from life cover, what is it traditionally spent on? Okay, so it's spent on education, it's spent on transport, it's spent on, you know, just your everyday cost of living. So how can we guide South Africans to make the correct financial decisions and package them in micro products, okay, and retain them as clients, and then give them a huge cashback to to change the trajectory of South Africa. We're young entrepreneurs. We got grand plans. We're making them happen. So, for example, we have our education protector. You get 20,000 Rand life and disability cover, and if you do not claim for 18 years, we pay you 250,000 Rand to send your kid to university.
Well, there you go.
I don't have a kid. I took out that product.
I can tell you
it's
for
a good
free,
product, man.
I'm going to need that 250K.
Yeah. So you must take it out today.
Yes.
So yeah, and then we have an everyday. We got a transport protector that pays you out 500K. Buy your dream car, and then we have an everyday expense protector, 50,000 Rand life and disability cover. And if you don't claim in 25 years, we pay you $1 million.
You see,
so we want to insure everyone in South Africa.
Why do you guys sound so helpful?
no, but
bro?
that point, you see, that's what I'm saying. That point is so important because back to my description of in case shit happens.
Yeah.
If shit don't happen, you get $1 million. You
get the
get
money
500K. You get 250K.
Yeah. Buy the ticket, you win.
Yeah, but this is
You
guaranteed.
guarantee it though.
Do you know how insurance
guaranteed.
started?
No.
Okay, so again, this is like an old wives' tale, eh? So,
Yeah, please.
so don't hold me to it, but it's a
Yeah.
cool story anyway.
Yeah.
Group of fishermen.
Okay.
Big storms collectively. Okay, so like the boats would go out, boat sinks, the guy can't fish anymore. And the fishermen got together and said, we're losing so many boats. Let's put a pool of money together. And if one of the boats goes down, for all of us, we take from the fund and we buy another boat.
There you go.
And that was the beginning.
And that was
Whether that's true or not,
Just
I've got no idea.
Just a bunch of Jewish guys fishing. That's what it was. That's as simple as it was.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Where do you stay?
Then you know
Where
more
do you
than me.
stay?
You know more
Where
than
do you
me.
stay?
Do
then?
you stay in Melrose Arch by any chance?
But there's a lot of people listening to your podcast.
He ain't giving a location.
Yeah, we just
All
saw
right.
I can't give away my location.
Yeah.
You guys are blowing up, man. I love shooting from Durban.
You're in Durban right now.
So yeah, man. No, insurance. I mean, you look at insurance companies. I mean, Sanlam's one of the biggest companies in South Africa. I
Sure.
mean, there's so many, man. Every single culture, ethnicity, everyone. South Africa is the most dynamic, inclusive country in the world, man. I think that's what aids to our beauty and everything that we're about. I love this place. I never understand why people are like, I'm immigrating. Like,
We're leaving, William. We're leaving, going to Australia.
Yeah, a mate of mine, I mean, he immigrated like 2 days ago. And
2 days ago.
yeah. But I can never get my head around it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I love this place. I know that the lights and its issues and there's problems, but I don't know. It's just a beautiful warmth that I feel here that I don't feel in other countries, man.
For sure.
I don't know.
It hits
I love this
different.
place, man. It does hit different. Even like the rugby, I went to Milk Bar on the weekend. I can't explain to you how unreal it is.
Yes. Absolute yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like everybody just all together, national anthem, having beers. I'm a very simple guy, man. You guys asked me before the podcast, what do you enjoy doing? For me, it's tomorrow I'm going to watch football with the boys. And that's me.
Yeah. That's important. Football wise, who you watching? Who's your team? Who you
United,
behind?
We know
United.
this.
It's tough, man. Tough.
It's been tough for all of us, all three of us.
Oh, shit.
We got to hold hands and say a prayer for the boys tomorrow because it's ups and downs there.
Yeah,
it's been a lot for us. Like we're like, whoa, when Ronaldo came back. Do you guys remember that Newcastle United game when Ronaldo came and he scored that brace and we're like, you know what?
We're back.
We're back.
Ronnie's
Yeah.
home. Ollie's at the wheel.
Our boys home. Ollie's at the wheel. We're coming back. Now we've got the guy from Breaking Bad leading us. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Walter White.
So I'll tell you, I believe in him, eh? Like,
Really?
I believe
Me
in
too.
him.
I actually believe
I'm
in
with
him.
you guys. I'm
No,
just
so
shooting at
like,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm
Look
with you.
So watching everything now, everybody's like, and I've given this a lot of thought. Everyone's like, the Glazers.
Yeah.
Okay, while I agree, top-down management is everything.
sure,
Whether it's
for
in
sure.
business, whether it's in football.
For sure.
If it's rotten at the top, it's going to be rotten all the way down.
100%.
But then you hear the fans on Twitter and whatever complaining about like the players. I remember a time where we had, if you said to me, Greg, like anyone in the world other than Messi and Ronaldo, who would you sign? I would have said Angel Di Maria. Like he for me was at Madrid. Yeah. So we had Falcao, Robin van Persie, Wayne Rooney, Angel Di Maria,
Remember that dink he
Then we
scored?
played against Leicester.
that dink.
Against Leicester, we were
Yeah.
3-0 up after 15 minutes. I thought the Galacticos are back. Bro.
No, honestly.
Step aside Gutsy, Beckham, and
Get
Ronaldo.
the hell out of here.
We
We
back.
here.
We lost 5-3.
I hate this team,
The
bro.
players we've had Mourinho, we've had Van Gaal, we've had Ranić, whatever. We've had Ten Hag.
Yeah.
At what level is it about the players? Is it about like the deeper coaching staff? I think the Glazers, while I hate, sorry, that's not the right word. Well, I don't like
strongly
them.
dislike
I
them.
strongly dislike them,
Yeah.
and I would like them out
Yeah.
100%. I think they've ruined the club. They've utilized the debt and extracted dividends.
Wow.
And it's poisonous.
They've rocked
Okay,
us.
but we're not playing good football.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line.
It's not enjoyable.
The individuals, the 11 individuals on the pitch can still make a difference.
And now
And strange signings. Like Donny van der Beek's been us for like 4 years.
Bro, and he was so good at Ajax, though. Remember him at
who
Real
is he
Madrid
right
when he
now?
played against Real Madrid? Do you remember
Yeah.
Donny?
Yeah, yeah.
2 assists, 2 goals. What are we saying, boy?
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
re-signed him, I was like, whoa. We've just signed the next big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, but he never got the chance.
exactly.
But do you think under Ten Hag he's going to get the chance because he's Dutch?
No. Because I think the game's changed a lot now. Like I don't think there's room for like a conventional 10 anymore. Like I think like it's very defensively compliant at the
Yeah,
moment.
for
Like,
sure.
Packing that midfield, having top wing backs.
Yeah.
Like your days of like Evra was in the mix, but like your days of like
Patrice.
Dennis Irwin and like Gary Neville, like those days are gone. You have to be so technical, and then you need a compact midfield to kind of manage the risk of the other players going forward.
for
So
sure.
like a Donny, I don't know.
Doesn't make sense because Thiago Alcantara from Liverpool made a statement the other day and
Yeah.
he said like, we've lost the beauty of a number 10 in
Yeah.
football. The guy who makes it look pretty, the guy who makes the magic. That's no more there. It's just
Wayno.
press.
High
score.
press, play out the back.
You know what I mean?
I hate playing
But
out
do
the
you
back.
think?
eh?
Do you
I'm
think?
conventional? Bro.
Is it? Do
Yeah.
you guys think both of you, Man City are becoming the Bayern Munich of the Premier League, winning the league year after year after year, signing the best players from the league, just adding to things? Do you think they're becoming that?
So someone
You
asked me,
first.
I asked someone the other day. I ate my words. So someone was watching the Grand Prix. Now I love sports and I can enjoy the Grand Prix, but I'm not a fanatic. Okay, so. But I said to him, I was like, how can you watch something that the same oak wins every single week? He's like, well, you watch the Premier League. You watch Man City win the league
Yeah.
every single year. Why are you
There we
still
go.
watching? I was
That's
like, yeah,
what I'm saying.
because I play fantasy.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's coming towards that because people call like the German league the Farmers League because Bayern win year after year. They call the French league the Farmers League because
Yeah.
PSG win year after year. The Premier League? What's going on there? Is this the Farmers League now because Man City are winning year after year after year
And comfortably.
and comfortably, bro? And like they would sign Holland and they'll say, "Cool, we're not happy. We're gonna go sign
Do
Alvarez."
you remember the one season that there was no striker?
Yeah,
There wasn't a striker.
Gabriel Jesus was on the bench, bro.
He like just went to Arsenal.
Yeah.
There was they played like it was
sure.
Bernardo,
Phil Foden, false
Foden,
false nine. What was it?
there was no striker
For sure.
and they won the league by a couple.
And they were
of
netting
yeah.
6 and
Yeah.
5 and 4 in games.
actually kills me.
What's going wrong in our club though? Other than the top management, do you think the boys are just not good enough there?
Culture, man. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Ten Hag's hard on it because you saw what happened now with Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Out the mix. You saw what happened with Ronaldo.
Yeah,
gone. And I think like there's players that like change the philosophy of United in the dressing room. Like Paul Pogba, like unbelievable talent. But like him, Jesse Lingard, like I think they ruined the dressing room. And I think we're still struggling from that shift. I do believe Ten Hag's come in and
They were
like,
making bloody TikToks
Yeah,
after losing Europa League finals.
And I was one of
Yes.
those guys on Twitter. Hey, I was like, I trolled Jesse Lingard hard.
Yeah.
I was like, I hated those videos.
Yeah.
Focus on the game. Focus on the
Please.
game.
For
sure.
And now the proof's in the pudding. Because where's he now? He's
Yeah.
training with the club in
Saudi
Saudi
League, yeah.
Training, not
Yeah,
even signed.
Oh, he's not even signed.
No, free agent.
Dude, what's going on? Because I remember the exact same things happening now that happened to us, our generation. When we started watching football, we were like, yo, Man United's hot. We're going to support them. How many kids right now are Man City supporters?
And
Because
Chelsea.
they're peaking right
Well,
now.
that's what's happening.
That's
what's
what I'm
gonna
saying.
happen, Yeah.
City and Chelsea.
It's
like
a
when I was
sad
in
time.
school, it was United Liverpool. There was
Yeah,
no one else. You had
exactly.
the odd Arsenal oak.
When I was there, it was United Chelsea.
Yeah,
You
and,
know
then,
what I mean?
and then Chelsea started coming to the mix.
Yeah.
And now you see that light blue.
Now it's
light blue
Liverpool
kids.
City.
It's too much. It's too much.
But wow.
We just Guys, I'm gonna have this conversation. The wokies are
Let's-
giving us trouble out
Let's
there.
let's have this
The
conversation
wokies
right now.
are giving us trouble.
Let's call
Play
the top,
for the badge and not the money.
let's call the top 4 for the Premier League at the end of the season,
Oh,
and let's
Mix.
review it.
that position.
Let's review it.
Well,
At the
am I
end
doing
of-
with my head or my heart?
No, we can't do our heart. It's got to be a combo of the 4. It's got to be a combo of the 4. Look at this man praying.
Tottenham 1,
Tottenham what? Are you mad?
City 2, Arsenal 3,
It's clickbait.
No.
United 4.
Thank you. You at least got us top 4. What are we saying, Mr. Segal? Let's hear top 4 Premier League this season.
Go City 1.
Yeah.
Gonna go Liverpool 2. Looking good, man.
I didn't,
5
even
on
know
the
they, I
trot.
didn't even know they existed. So
Liverpool,
my bad, my
Liverpool
bad.
second.
Yeah.
I think it's too early for Spurs. Massive loss of Harry Kane,
Yeah.
new manager. I know everyone loves him and he seems like a legend, but
Yeah.
I think it's too early for them.
Yeah.
So third, I'm going to go United.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw in the mix.
There we
hoping
go.
we get things
We're
right.
there. We're
I'm
there.
hoping that our boy Hodgson up front starts cracking a few. Bruno gets it together. Casemiro carries on.
Amrabat's in the mix.
Yeah, I remember he looked good. Eh?
Oh.
He looked good. He looked good.
Bald and genius, boy.
And die for the badge. Like
For
what you
sure.
said, die
For
the
sure.
badge.
For sure.
Exactly.
And then to finish off the top 4, I'm going to go Newcastle.
That's a
So
spanner in the works there.
I'm gonna mess shit up right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in. Okay, I'm gonna start from 4th to
Yeah.
1st. I'm saying Arsenal are 4th at the end of the season. I'm saying United are 3rd. I'm saying City are 2nd. And I'm saying Brighton are gonna upset them.
What the hell?
They're looking good though.
Brighton,
Bro,
yeah, no, they
Matoma-
are.
Wait,
Matoma's a baller.
listen.
Yeah.
Did you see the way those boys are playing football
No, they're
right
playing
now?
football.
They're giving Leicester 20, what was it, 20?
I don't know, but it was a good year.
27. Have you seen the way those boys are playing football right now?
Now they're playing.
They would challenge City better than we would. Given. Facts.
And can I tell you something? Look at their mentality. So
Yeah.
they lost, what's the Argentinian boy's name? McAllister.
McAllister.
They lost McAllister. You'd think like
Yeah.
pinnacle to the team. You know, the whole aura is going to change.
Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah,
Matoma steps up.
but
Ferguson
one.
steps up. Like,
But one, guys.
Bro, listen.
no
This way
chance.
Johnson's with them.
No chance.
Yeah.
I think they'll finish European football, top 6.
Maybe, yeah.
They could do a top 4.
Yeah, they
In my
could.
opinion,
They
I
could.
feel like they're definitely doing top 4, but I want them to upset the season. Just because of the way they're playing under their new coach, Zabi. What is his name? I've forgotten.
Nah,
Yeah,
can't
Robert.
remember.
Yeah, something. But the football and the liquidity and the way they're attacking and defending.
You know, I want to change. The Arsenal fans are going to come at me. We're taking Liverpool out of the top 4. We put Arsenal in. We take Liverpool out.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd accept that.
Yeah.
I'd accept that. Anything but them.
Is it okay if I have a wee?
Yeah, me too.
Just asking the producer, Dane Holmes.
Chucks has got a
Chaka
weak
needs
bladder.
a wee. I get those comments every time.
Every
on my-
time there's even comments on YouTube
So
that
just still
Chucka's
roll, just still
bladder.
roll through
Yeah.
these parts.
So now we're going to just take a quick hiatus
We'll
now.
take a bit of a young.
Quickly.
I like
let's
can I
look
fill
into
this up?
some.
Does OneSpark cover for bladder problems?
Please, man. Please, blend.
Bro, so like, I feel like OneSpark, no offense to the other guys out there, but I've never had an insurance company resonate with me to this level. When I say that, I mean, I've always felt like I'm that person who's a bit different,
Okay.
you know? And I've never had an insurance company come out and say, listen, we know you're different and we're going to cater for that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, like, it's very different, especially from insurance. For me, is something very. This is what it is. You either have it or you don't. But for you guys, it's like this is what it is. Let's see if we can help you.
100%. It needs to be a fit. It has to work for you as well.
Sure.
You know, if something doesn't make sense, you can't do it. I think like the personalization aspect element of it is definitely one thing, and I'm happy that you resonate with it, and it means
Yeah.
that we're doing the right thing.
Sure, 100%.
So I appreciate that. But I think where we've really changed the game, and I think, you know, we're not arguing that, you know, we want everyone. We're arguing that there's a place for us.
Sure.
There's a place for us in this market. And what is that place? You know, you look at the millennial market, okay? Millennials, they don't know what they want to do tomorrow. let alone locking themselves into a 30-year insurance contract.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, with our dynamic underwriting and our algorithms, you know, you could log onto your phone, go into the OneSpark app, go into the OneSpark landing page, put in your information, do a personalized quote, and issue that cover while you're sitting at home, while you're on your couch, while you're having your,
You see, that's
your
what
cup of tea.
That's what works for me. Because I don't want to be going to another insurance company sitting there, they're giving me papers like this.
Yeah.
I'm going through, I'm ticking.
No,
I want to
I've
be
been-
on the toilet at home where I'm most comfortable and
100%.
relaxed, doing my thing. You get what I'm saying?
And I've been that financial advisor that I've gone to meetings with the 30-page application with a pen and a paper. It's meticulous for me, for the client, for everyone
For
involved.
sure.
So us, you know, everything's done online. You know, we're the first to do it. And yeah, there's a place for us in this market.
No, 100%. Because also, this has happened to my character after COVID, right? During COVID, we couldn't meet up with the boys. There was none of that. You know, you could, but risky. You know what I mean? But like,
Alcohol is expensive.
you get what I'm saying? I met you a few times with that alcohol
was
chat.
bloody
Remember?
expensive
We
during
meet and
COVID.
going shopping
Yes.
together. Like, when we get to the cars to put our stuff in the boots, then I'm
Yo,
just giving Chaka
Castle
some of my
Light
stuff. Like, hey, there we
six-pack,
go, there we
bro.
go, there we go. But I'm just saying, like, I stopped enjoying going to actual physical meetings
Yeah.
after COVID because I was like, during COVID, I'm doing it over my phone.
100%.
Why can't I be in my bed doing this?
Well, I think that's the way the whole world's gone. I mean, you look
Yeah.
at, I used to phone Nando's and say, I still remember the number, Nando's Norwood, you know?
Is it?
Yeah, Norwood. I used
Yo,
to-
they make the extra chicken with extra sauce,
The best.
extra hot, so good.
I used to phone them like on the landline.
Yeah.
I used to phone them and they say, I'm coming to fetch it. How long is it going to take? They say it's going to take 15
Yeah,
minutes.
sure,
I
sure.
get there and I fetched it. And then, you know, Uber Eats comes along and it changes the game.
The game,
you know?
the
Like
game
now
has
it's come
changed.
to me.
But they just don't get the extra sauce right sometimes, bro.
And I hate that.
Yo, me too. I hate when Nando's. I'm telling you that I want extra sauce. It comes, I open the packet.
It's just sauce, bro.
It's looking as dry as the Woolies chicken, bro. What are you guys doing?
For me, it's the opposite, man. When
Is
I
it?
say I want extra sauce, but I can't even see the
It's
chicken.
too much.
It's
It's too much.
sauce. So yeah, but yeah, do love them, mate. But anyway, like, you know, it comes to you now.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you know, any service, if you look at it, whether it's retail clothing, it comes
Yeah.
to you. Superbulous, it comes to you. So why shouldn't insurance?
Wow.
You know?
Wow. There we
you know,
go.
no, why must I go out and must I sit down and must there be this paperwork? You know,
Yeah.
100% have a financial advisor. I encourage that. You know, I can't emphasize enough. We're not cutting out financial advisors. We are empowering them.
Yeah.
Let it be efficient.
Yeah, sure.
Let it be an enjoyable user experience for the client, for the financial advisor. Let the insurance come to you. And that's what we do. You know?
Sure.
And you guys will see that later when we go out and you can buy a couple policies and then you cover it with OneSpark. Simple as that. man.
Yeah, I think the empowering the financial advisors is key because
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure even them, they're like, flip this paperwork, signing initial, this and 30 pages.
It's up and down.
I used to get annoyed when my financial advisor comes in. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
But
tell
let me tell
me
you, it's
what
a-
this is saying and then let's
And
get
it's-
on with
and
it.
it's at no fault of the financial advisor. There's a huge, listen, it's incredibly regulated. Eh? There's a replacement record of advice. You need to know why you're moving from one insurer to another. The advisor has to be able to tell you why. And, you know, there might be a time where a page didn't get signed and then the advisor comes back to you and it's frustrating, man. So we've eliminated that, the frustration element. The compliance element is still there, 100%. That's not going anywhere. But we've created a more efficient environment.
You
for
guys
the
are pushing
consumers.
efficiency.
No, you're pushing
bro.
the boundaries, man.
That's for sure. That's what I've seen and what I've
Efficient,
heard from you all
dynamic.
in all. And after looking at it all, I'm like, wow. Why is this something I haven't seen before?
Because it took a long time to build.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Can I tell you, I read something, I saw the most amazing quote, Usain Bolt,
Yeah.
I trained for 4 years to run 9 seconds.
Wow.
You know, people only see the end result.
That's like sex,
You
bro. Trained for 5 years. Lost 9 seconds, boy. What do we say?
9.5 A's.
9.5. I can push a sub 10
No,
sometimes.
but it's amazing because
Keep me out of this convo.
100%. People only see the end result. You know, you don't see what goes into it, man.
Yeah, sure.
And that's why I think, like you asked the question earlier, like why don't people not know about OneSpark? Because the time's now people are going to hear about us. You know, now it's time for the 9.5
Yeah,
seconds. You know?
but
Yeah, there we go.
how difficult is it to change insurances, bro? Because some might see it as a mission.
Yeah.
But like me listening to you now, I'm like, flip, okay,
I'm sold.
maybe I want to leave mine because I've been paying these debit orders now, you know, and I want to join OneSpark.
So
But how difficult is that part? Or does it seem difficult? And does it feel like you're locked in?
So again, I'll go back to the personalization. I would need to understand that it's in your interest to move across.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be the correct financial advice. You know, if you're with an insurer that services your needs, stay there. You know,
Yeah.
And if it's in your interest to move across from an affordability point of view, from an efficiency point of view, from a cover point of view, then move across. And if that, you know, if it is suitable for you, based on the advice that we give, every insurer has different terms. Typically 30 days notice, and that's where the financial advisor comes in. You know, that's why we're not just a direct play. That financial advisor has to do a record of advice, which is, you know, why am I in a better position to move across to OneSpark?
Sure.
That gets sent to the FSCA. It gets sent to the other insurer. It's not just a quick thing, you know.
And you can't transfer though. That's my issue.
No, it's a new policy.
Exactly. So you can't transfer all the debit orders you've paid into the new one.
So is that lost?
So it's gone.
But you got to look at it from this point of view, okay? I'll take short-term insurance to account. Okay, you insure your car.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you're paying 500 Rand a month. Okay,
Wait.
Okay, sorry. Let's say you're paying 2,000 Rand a month.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Now we're on topic.
Nice Polo Vivo there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you're paying
Yes.
2,000 Rand a month and you're paying that premium for 10 years. Okay.
My
Now-
God.
Okay. Let's say you just had a flash
Yes,
forward there. Okay. So
This guy's
years.
quick maths.
So you're
boy.
paying, so you're paying 10 years, right? And you know, you're hoping not to have a claim.
Sure.
You know, you don't want to have a claim.
Yeah.
Please God, you lose that money. Because in the event of a claim, you know, you get paid out and more. Simple as that. So it is a risk policy. There's no investment element of it. It is a pure risk policy. But you can't see it as I've lost out on those premiums. You got to say, thank God nothing happened.
Yeah.
So it's a mindset shift.
Yeah, sure.
Simple as that.
Dude, I'm just thinking about insurances, and right now I'm like, flip, bro. Like you say, it's thank the Pope, nothing happened. But at the same time, you need to educate us to be like to have that mindset.
For sure.
Because in my mind, I'm like, flip, 2 grand, 2 grand, 2 grand, 2
Yeah.
grand, 2 grand, 2
You're
grand,
risky,
2 grand,
boy.
2 grand, 2
You're
grand,
playing
2
risky.
grand. Yeah, but bro, you like
those brothers at campus, bro. You playing risky.
I'm always looking at these insurance things, and I'm like, okay, I'm covered for dread disease. I still haven't had a dread disease. It's 10 years down the line, and I think
God.
you
Touch
see,
wood,
you know
thank
what I mean.
God.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
But I think that is such an important message to,
So the-
especially the youth.
The mindset shift is
Yeah.
everything. You cannot see it as I have a disability policy. You have to say I'm protecting my future earnings. You don't see it as a life policy. You see it as financial security for my family when I'm gone. You don't see it as dreaded disease cover or illness cover. You see it as contingent cover on top of my medical aid in case something goes wrong.
For sure.
And I go back to your point on Chris Rock, you know, in case something happens. That is what insurance is.
Okay, shit happens.
in case something happens, you know. So at the end of the day, you got to you don't just look at it from a product point of view. Look at it from an impact point of view. How's this going to assist me on the worst day of my family's life when I'm gone? And the only answer for that is financial security.
Sure.
And life insurance is a tax-free payout that serves that purpose. It's not going to bring the person back. It's not going to take the grief away. But it will take away the immediate financial burden and stress.
Yeah.
I won't lie, for a person like me, what I like about it, though, the OneSpark side of it is that, okay, I'm investing in this premium. I've said it already in this podcast. I'm investing in this premium. If nothing happens, there's a payback.
Yeah.
That is so important to me, because yes, right, it is a future protection, but there's an element of investment to it. It's negligible in the bigger scheme of things, but at least I'm getting something back, because in my mind, my maths is saying, flip, how many people are paying for insurance?
Yeah.
How many people have these issues? So they're just banking this money.
Yeah,
you know, that's what's in my what's in my mind. But the fact that you guys can say, all right, cool, look, 250K, I can't remember exactly
500K, a million.
500K to $1 million. Then you're like, all right, flip, okay. It's decent. You guys have still got to keep the lights running, happy. But if I'm clean by a certain period, thank you.
Well, I think if you look at it this way, how can I sit here, you know, on your podcast and say we're an insurer of the people? I love South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
if nothing's going back to South Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean that's a huge part of what we do.
Yeah.
You know, we also want to be, by being one of the most like my goal with OneSpark, I told you, like, yes, we want to be, call it the biggest financial institution in the world. But like for me, what's more important is to be the most loved. Okay. How do you be the most loved? By being transparent.
Yeah.
Okay. So like even in our life policies, because the cashbacks that you're talking about, that's in our protector plans and our funeral range. On our life policies, you know, we take our premium income. Okay. So all the premiums we collect in a year, we minus out all the claims that we pay. And at the end of the year, we give all of the leftover money back to our policyholders.
No.
Yeah. So for the first time, that's why we're the world's first peer-to-peer life insurance.
Insane.
The reason why it's so powerful is not the cash element of it. Okay?
Yeah.
The reason it's so powerful is because for the first time ever, there's a common incentive from insurer to advisor to client to pay a claim. We will not be financially swayed to not pay a claim.
Exactly.
So we're driven on our admin. Like that's our business.
You guys seem too nice to be in business.
Yeah.
bro.
What's the story?
You guys just seem too nice.
There's got to be a loophole here, bro.
No loopholes, man. So I mean, we get asked a lot, you know, like what's the catch? What's the
Yes,
catch?
exactly.
And I think it's like the biggest compliment you could ever pay.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing, man. So yeah, I think we you know, I work with incredible people, you know, like from, you know, the actuaries to the developers to the operations teams to the distributions team, like everyone involved. We all add our crazy mix to the pot. And I think in business, that's so important, eh?
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, you look at people's careers, you know, and people say, I want to be a CA, I want to be an actuary. Like, that's one defining role that's part of like a bigger picture.
Sure.
And you have to be able to engage with other people and you all add to your pot. We all add our elements of crazy, you know what I mean? And then it works.
OneSpark. Where does the name come from?
Okay, so it's a cool story actually. So the co-founders and my partners, they were in America at the time, and we were like, what are we going to name this? You know, and what you do, you know, we hired companies, we Googling things, coming up with a million things, and we had a name that we wanted to use, and we were so fixed on the name. And long story short, we landed up not going for it, and happily so, like looking back at it. So how we came up with OneSpark, you know, it's two words coming together, OneSpark, one person, one moment with an idea or a vision that can change South Africa or change the world. So one moment can spark brilliance. Simple as that. Yeah.
One moment can spark brilliance. All spark is from Transformers. So that's why I'm resonating here, bro.
But for the first time in my life, I've actually liked paying a bill, because I'm like, 20 years from now, I'm getting paid back. You know what I mean? And there's that personal aspect that I literally spoke about earlier that I've never seen before.
You see,
Is this because you guys are the youngest?
so I was just
As well. Are you going on that?
I was just about to say
Because you guys are giving millennial vibes.
That's such a key. That's such a key selling
pitch.
point
Yeah.
for the youngsters, especially the youngsters who can't see their future income.
For sure.
You can tell them you're protecting your future income and all that jazz, but in the back of their minds, they're like, "Bro, I'm giving you a third or a quarter or a fifth of my salary for something that I don't think is going to happen." Naive. That's naive.
Yeah.
And we've all been naive.
Exactly.
We've all been those young
That's when you
kids
get- that's when you
finishing
get
school.
hurt.
Exactly.
That's when you get it hurt, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where you're like, flip. You know what? That's where another company has something called profit share.
Yeah.
Which is what made me think about it. Be like, all right, cool. So if anything happens, at least I'm paying this. But by the end of my tenure, I'll get the profit share or whatever it is.
sure.
So I think that part was as a
Yeah.
I want to call myself a youngster, but as a young individual at the time, that's exactly what was my selling point. And I think I don't know. I think
So what's
OneSpark
the average age of OneSpark then? Because it's giving young people. Bro.
Yeah. So the average age, I think that's also separates us from the rest of the market. Our average age in our business now is about 28. 28, 29.
That's my age, bro. I'm out there. I'm able. I'm there.
28, 29.
So you're
And I-
basically opening the door for young guys, yeah. That's what I'm
and
saying.
Even in my team in particular, I'm always looking for people.
Sure.
So I'm head of distribution. So I work with the advisor force on a
Yeah,
daily
sure,
basis.
sure.
Whether it's focusing on funeral policies, protector plans, life policies, dreaded disease, whatever it is. I'm always looking for people. So people can reach out to me, LinkedIn. Happy to.
Sorry, describe.
email.
Yeah, sorry, Greg. Describe head of distribution because you're not literally transporting anything. Where I come from in terms of work, distribution is a different
Me
story.
too.
Yeah.
So head of sales and distribution.
Okay.
So it's about partnering up with the internal advisor force, working with them on a daily basis, as well as our external brokerages. So those are independent brokerages that sell OneSpark policies.
Sure.
Okay. I work with them on a daily basis, and I got to make sure that the team grows at a consistent manner. I got to make sure that client service is absolutely phenomenal, and make sure that everything's being done in an ethical manner where the client comes first. Simple as that.
RAs? Do you guys do RAs?
No, so no invest products at the moment.
Are you looking towards it?
There's many things we're looking towards.
Let's go, bro.
It's just the
There's many
start.
things, no,
It's
it's
just
just
the
the
start
start. Just the
of
start.
something
Yeah,
great.
bro. Yeah.
So, again, I go back to like client service and experience. You got to make sure that you are brilliant at what you do. When you're brilliant at what you do, you enjoy it.
Sure.
You got to. Let's get. We had a really good place. We got amazing clients and customers. We got an amazing team, and we always looking to innovate from a product point of view, but we're not going to just shotgun spray and say we're doing invest, we're doing pet insurance, we're doing this, we're doing that. Let's be the best at what we do here. If you're the best at what you do in anything, you'll be fulfilled. Simple as that, So for me, focus on the risk for now, and then as the business grows, and we'll carry on working on some other stuff, and when the time's right, then we'll do it. But very talented group of actuaries working in research and development, and they're always coming up with cool stuff.
This pet insurance chat makes me laugh a bit, right?
You got a dog.
I've got a dog, but I had a boy once, right? And when you everybody just got their license, Anyways, this bra met an accident, like knocked his polo into this old lady, and it was complications. And then they sent a bill for the cat. And my boy's like, okay, cool. Like, how did the cat get hurt? The cat needed to go to a psychologist, bro.
No way.
Because of trauma. What the hell psychology is a cat going to? What is a cat going to, bro?
Hey man.
What is happening?
We've got our superstar sports massage therapist, Michelle. Who owns a couple of cats.
I'm sorry. So you need to tell me. You need to enlighten me.
To explain.
Should have rocked me actually right now.
Yeah.
Our ghostwriter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Question is obviously what insurances does OneSpark offer? If you have a list, do you have one?
The most popular ones.
Yeah, like what are they? Because I've asked you about RA. I don't know about car insurance. That's what made me spark that conversation.
Spark, you see?
Yeah,
There you go.
spark the conversation.
Wow.
So,
Hashtag Spark, trending.
boom.
Spark.
So
We out here.
what insurances do you guys offer now? And we'll talk about what's ahead in our next episode when you come on again.
I can't wait. I'll come back anytime, man.
That's beautiful.
So right now the business has two segments. So we got our life insurance side of the business that pertains to life insurance, disability cover, illness cover. Let me actually dive into them on an individual basis.
Please.
So in the life insurance division, there is life insurance. God forbid somebody were to pass away, you are paid out a tax-free lump sum to alleviate your family's financial burden, to secure wealth, whatever it is, for wealth transfer, to pay for debt. Then you have disability cover. In the event of a permanent disability, we will pay you a lump sum tax-free payout. This is to protect your future income.
Sure.
Okay. There could be an accident, car accident. You can no longer work, whatever it may be. It might be an illness that leads to a disability. Then we have illness cover, your cancers, your strokes, heart attacks, and there's a huge list of criteria, medical objective criteria, where we pay you out a tax-free lump sum into your account if you were to experience, God forbid, one of those conditions. Our maximum payout for those is 200%. So, for example, if you had R1 million cover, we'll pay you 2 million rand based on the severity of the claim. And our lowest payout is 50%.
Okay.
Based on the severity of the claim.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have our income protection. Okay, so income protection pays you out your after-tax cost to company. Where we're different to other insurers, they pay you out 75% of the cost to company. We pay you out 100% after tax. And where we're very different.
They do pay 75%.
Yeah, so we pay 100. So that's enough reason to move across.
There you go.
Okay. Where we're different, our income protection is world first in every way, globally patented. So we are the first insurer in the world, I believe, that at most other insurers, at claim stage, you will get your salary and it will grow every year. So like at CPI or inflation plus 3%, we will pay a doctor what a doctor would have been paid, what a lawyer would have been paid. So ours is occupation specific. Industry specific, occupation specific. So all these things, it's very powerful. We got a lot of trademarks, that are around the world. We're looking to work with as many South Africans as possible. Again, I'll stand by it. We're an insurer of the people. We're doing our best every single day to give everyone an incredible client experience. We're growing. We're doing our best.
I feel like a grad program would work so well for you guys because it's that sort of company that a young kid would want to work in, especially when you're a young kid. Like I remember when I was looking at post-uni, I was looking at like opportunities and an insurance company came out and I was like, hey, that's not where I want to be as a young guy. You get what I'm saying? I was like, but OneSpark, it moves different, huh, Dave? It moves different, bro.
Here's the thing. People look at financial charts, shares, trading,
Dividends,
and
derivatives.
this is where I'm coming from with this is they'll look at it and they'll see the chart's gone up, and they'll be like, if I invested at this time, I would have had this much money. And if I had bet, that kind of chat.
Yeah. No,
But the same conversation is if you had joined this insurance at this time, your premium is a lot lower and it gradually increases and stuff like that, but your payout is X amount. And by the time you're looking at the chart of when you now got your money and now it's starting to come in your head, you're looking at the chart, you're like, flip, okay. If I invested here, but I'm going to invest here. Now you're thinking you got to pay a whole lot of money. So the actual truth of the matter is start as soon as possible. You can.
Yeah.
Start when you're young.
Start ASAP.
That's when it makes sense.
And I think that's also where we come into play with the AI. Because it's cover that changes with you. It's going to say, okay, where you at in your life right now? You need income protection and you need disability cover. Next year, we review it. We understand the data. We understand the inputs. We understand how your life's changed. And our cover will grow with you. Because life insurance, it's a trajectory. It's like goes up and your need for life cover actually goes down. You get older, you have less debt. Your kids have moved out. They stop becoming your financial burden. You know? And your need for life cover decreases, but your need for illness cover and disability increases because you're getting older now. We take out of the life cover. We put it in there automatically. So have a tool that does it for you.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, with your acceptance, you won't just do it. You got to accept.
Here's a silly question. Now that you're in this industry, do you feel that you have a better quality of life in terms of knowing that
you're covered?
You're covered. Yeah. Do you feel like better quality of life? I'm
covered.
Shoulders are more relaxed. You're not too stressed because you covered.
Yeah, listen, I've had my own mad health stories happen to me as well. I don't know if we can jump into that as well if you want to.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, quite a mad story. And I actually wasn't covered at the time. I just finished my degree and I wanted to go away with the boys.
Yeah, of course.
We want to celebrate.
Oh, that's a shit show.
We're going to go to the Kruger.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Play with some lions.
Yeah, at the time, I wasn't a fan of the bush and everything. I am now. It's I don't know why I wasn't, but I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm on the way there and I feel I got this little pain in my eye, on the way. Literally, I finished the studying, I finished writing exams the day before. I'm in the car with the guys and I feel this pain in my eye. And then we get to the Kruger and we're doing things. We're young guys and we like playing beer pong, and just guys was having a draw. We just finished exams. We're going to party, and like I get this headache that is like the worst headache that you could ever imagine. I could never actually put it into words.
Sure.
It's given me like a phobia of headaches for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It was like in the middle of my head. I'll never forget it. It was like in my forehead. And the guys are playing beer pong and I'm like, no, I need to go lie down, guys. I go lie down. And then I take like 2 Myprodol. I fall asleep, wake up the next day. It's even worse. I'm in the car with the guys. They seeing the mad, when you can't see anything, like, oh my God, Greg, you missed this. There was a lion, doing this and that. Anyway, I was so sick, man. So I got back to the house and then I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, listen, I got a headache and it's not like a normal headache. It's bad. And then I was like, just don't tell Ma because I knew my mom would stress out,
Yeah.
So then it just got worse and worse. And then I'm like quite a hypochondriac. So I calmed down quite a lot now. But I swear, I started thinking to myself, I was like, geez, I've got a mad headache. I'm vomiting and my neck's killing me. So I was like, 1, 2, 3. I was like, I've got meningitis. So I convinced myself. I was like, I've got meningitis. And I'm in the bush, man. So anyway, my dad's like, if you wake up feeling like that tomorrow, like you got to get home. So I woke up the next day and I felt even worse. And all my mates like rushed me to the Nelspruit airport. I didn't have anything. I don't think I wore shoes. I just had like a vest and those days, H2O. Wearing a vest and like shorts. And
Deck for vac.
100% ready. What did I heard one the other day?
Chest day, no legs.
Ready for plets or something. I don't know what it was. So then, I got on a plane, went straight to the hospital, and I was right, man. I had meningitis. I just finished my degree.
You diagnosed yourself?
Yeah. So I finished my degree, and then I was in hospital the whole of that December. Thankfully, I was okay because that illness is incredibly scary.
It's insane.
It's like almost like there's a few different strains that you can get, and they do the lumbar puncture to see what strain you have. And luckily, like I was okay. And it's a horrible disease.
How do you get it?
I think it's random, man. I think my immune system was so beaten from it was my honors year, so I was in like quite like just bad like shape. Mentally, I was not sleeping, energy drinks, like studying as hard as possible. Your Ritalins and all that type of stuff. Anything.
Concerta.
36 mils. The yellow one.
Jokes at 36.
That thing helped me,
I
bro.
was on the 54.
Wait, what?
I don't play.
You want the 54?
54
So that's a lot.
got me through it, bro.
So you know the vibe. So I felt just quite depleted, and I think just my immune system was low, bad timing. Guys, with illnesses in general, I think there's like an element that we can control.
Sure.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be one.
Yeah.
But I do believe like a lot of life is about like a lottery. I go back to my mom. No drinking, no smoking, exercise freak, sweet, nice lady, and then gone. So I think a lot of it comes down to luck, and the things that we are in control of, like we must control. Like excessive drinking, smoking at all. Got to try and give ourselves the best chance we can have. But I think a lot of it is
wow.
Yeah.
So I just want to take you back. I think you're losing your train
Sorry,
of thought.
I can digress
So you
there,
got the meningitis, quality of life.
So I got the meningitis. So I mean that almost was.
You told me the story about music once a long time ago. Remember?
I remember I was in the hospital and I couldn't work out if I was like losing my mind because like triggered quite a lot of anxieties in me. Because like when you're in a room for long, because it's also very contagious. I was in a room for 3 weeks on my own, just like the 4 walls. It's like I was preparing for a role in a movie, like you hear those stories, like the Joker.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger, he method acted. So I was like in the bathroom, I remember, and I kept playing music. And like I would like remember, I'd learn all the songs. And like I would like rap them. I like love hip hop, and I'd rap all the songs and just remember all the lyrics.
What were you rapping there?
Geez, back then, it was probably like Take Care and those back in the best album of all time.
For sure.
Yeah, so just remembering all the tracks and like that kept me sane. And then I have a huge love for music after that as well. Still do that with like every song, become like a habit of mine. But I mean, in terms of quality, like do I feel covered? Do I feel like, okay, I have this cover? It's nice to have the protection. But again, insurance is not something you want to claim from. It's good having peace of mind. For me, I'm very passionate about illness cover. I've said it to you guys. I'll never preach something that I don't do. So, I'll tell you straight, I have 4 million rand illness cover. And if something very wrong had to go, I would get 8 million. For me, that gives me peace of mind. I lost my mom to cancer. There's hereditary risk. So yeah, that gives me peace of mind. Is it going to change the condition you get? No. But again, I can't emphasize enough, and I've said that a lot. Like you need to be able, you don't want the financial burden. It doesn't matter what medical aid plan you're on. It doesn't matter if you're on the top one. That illness in particular, you'll pay anything to keep someone alive. It defies logic. Like you don't think anymore. You'll do anything. So you need cash. So that helps. And then, like for me in my personal capacity, I'm happy to share. I'm getting married now. There's I want to make sure that if something had to happen to me, my future wife would be in a position that, as if I was still here.
And they're going to go shopping though. I already know.
Take me home. Country road.
Hey, you got a nice voice. I got a bond. If something had to happen to me, I don't want that debt to go into my family.
For sure.
I got disability cover. I still, I'm still starting my career. I want to protect my future earnings. I'll never preach something that I don't do. And the one thing about OneSpark that we said when we sat around the table, we will make sure that we design a product and a policy that we are proud for our parents to have. Wow. Like that was you know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Like we will be proud that our parents have that product.
Yeah.
So, we all have it. Our parents all have it. And that's, you got to be able to stand by it. Like anything in life. Can't sell shoes if you wouldn't wear them, man.
Greg Segal, director of OneSpark.
OneSpark.
The future of insurance.
There's only one spark, yeah.
There is only one spark.
No, there's 3, man.
Wow, dude. I'm honestly, I've spoken to you before. We've been mates for a while, but I didn't understand what you did fully until today. And
it was hard to prep for this one because
I'm humbled to know you as a mate, and
thanks,
I'm proud of what you're doing.
Thanks,
it's
man.
amazing.
I think to just put it back to you guys, I think like watching your journey has been unbelievable. I remember when you first said to me about like it's a concept.
Yeah.
And I said to Shannon that night, I was like, I'm telling you now, like just watching like your first intro thing. I think you spoke about cancel culture, I remember.
Yeah.
Cancel culture.
We're still here.
We're
still here. Thanks, Josh.
Well done. And I really believed in you, and I knew that I do genuinely believe that this thing is going to explode. I'm happy to be honored to support it, and I think you guys you're gonna absolutely kill it, man.
Wow.
Can I ask you a question to flip it?
Go for it,
For
bro.
sure.
Okay.
You in charge of growth right now.
Go for it.
Okay. Guys, welcome to the show. I watch a lot of podcasts, man.
Sure.
I enjoy them. And I take a lot of learnings from them.
Yeah.
So what motivates you guys? Where do you get your inspiration from? Like what type of content creators do you follow?
Wow. Dude. So on my side, I've always been a massive fan from a kid of the Letterman show. It's not really a podcast, but it's a talk show. And he brings in a lot of interesting individuals, and he discusses their story and you better understand them. And what I loved about that most is I would say to my mom, like, did you know Kanye West did this? And mom's like, how do you know that? And I was like, no, I watched on the Letterman show. And I was like, why not do that in South Africa? So that little kid who stays in his house with his parents knows what Greg Segal does. And he knows what Winston does. And he knows what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to give people access to people that you wouldn't have access to before. Okay. And the David Letterman show has always been a show that I've been a fan of my whole life, And I'd love to meet him one day, if possible.
Or maybe an interview, man.
There we go, Davo.
Yeah.
There you go. And you, Josh?
Shout out to Stephen Bartlett, okay?
The Diary.
Diary of a CEO.
Yeah.
So I was listening to one of his podcasts and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of his podcasts that I listen to where I didn't know the person before.
Yeah.
Right? But they had so much knowledge, they had so much education, and I was like, flip, bro, this guy's so lucky. He gets to sit with these guys and he gets to have these types of conversations with them, and people are learning at the same time.
Sure.
And I was like, damn,
Yeah.
we've got some South Africans that do the same thing.
For sure.
And yeah, that's basically what inspired me. I was like, we need to have more informal type conversations with more influential people who some are not known, some are known, and actually get to know the core of who they are and the challenges that they face. And when I was listening to Diary of a CEO, I was like, flip, I wish I was a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Well, we are now there, and now we get to conduct the conversation.
Sure.
So that's exactly where that inspiration came from.
And just to top it off, dude, like we really appreciate guys who believe in us.
Yeah, man.
And guys who want to get on and chat to us because
Dude.
you feel like telling your story, maybe you feel like your story is not good enough, but there's someone out there that's going to hear it and be driven by it. And that's the most important thing, you know? It's always that one moment, that one spark that changes
There you
everything.
go, man.
The one spark, for sure. When I'm also listening, when I'm having these conversations, I'm thinking about the guy who's listening who doesn't know anything.
Yeah, sure.
And I always ask those types of questions
Yeah.
because they're so important and they're educational, man. And I think that's the point of this thing. I mean, one, we're having a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And and I think it's just awesome that we get to do this.
You know,
and
my dad always
we
says,
took the risk.
do what you love and you feel like you're not working.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what this feels like.
Exactly.
And just make sure you're the best at what you do, man.
Thank you, Uncle Greg. We will.
No, I'm serious because you say people like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what industry you're in. You can be a landscaper, you can be it doesn't matter. Just be the best, man.
So
Yeah. Well.
you're absolutely right. So when we started, we
can't use the
focused
word.
on quality.
Yeah.
So we got some positive feedback on the YouTube page in regards to quality, and that's got to do with our cook over there. His name is Dane Holmes, filmed by Dane.
So he banged that thing like 6 times, boy.
So he's literally, we've got a great team, man. We've also got a junior production manager here. His name's Mo. We've decided no one will ever get to see Mo because he's going to be
Become an enigma.
He's going to be one of our enigmas.
And he's cooking as well.
but
Like
he's
every
exactly-
single thing that you look at here,
yeah.
it's Mo.
So we're fortunate that we've got a team that believes in myself and Josh.
Sure.
And obviously myself and Josh believe in each other. So yeah, we
Yeah,
like
for
it.
sure, man. Guys,
Literally, let me tell you exactly what happened. I was driving back home. I left his house because we were chatting about the podcast. And I was driving home and I was listening to, I think it was Eminem, dude, in the car because I like blaring music. And then I just had this thought and I phoned Chucks and I was like, dude, listen, we've got something great here. You know what I mean? Like when we at home having a conversation, people are in stitches all the time. They're like, yo, you guys are absolute clowns. I said,
you got the energy together.
you know what I mean?
No, you do.
You know what I mean? We're like, why not do it on camera? And that's what we're doing.
Sometimes
But
we
the
gotta-
difference between people, there's people that say they're going to do things and there's people that do them.
Yeah,
And
sure.
it takes a lot of courage
Yeah.
to make that leap across.
Sure,
so
sure,
I commend
sure.
you guys, man.
That's
Thanks, man.
exactly what it was. It was like, flip, let's just do it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just
But-
get it
but-
done.
can happen, really.
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, he wouldn't have done it alone and I wouldn't have done it alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
But together we did it.
And look at how lucky we are. We've got people like you. We've got people like Winston. We've got
Yeah.
people like Pingwell. We've got sportsmen.
Yeah,
dude. And it's just
We've
so
been blessed.
awesome. Yeah,
that's
we've been.
every single time we're done with an episode, we say, whoa,
Yeah, we always like, wow.
wow.
Yeah.
You know, how did we get this blessed?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
It's not
So
like it's blessed,
exciting
bro.
times
And
ahead.
Wow, we loved having you on today.
Thank you, guys.
And,
I love being here.
Thanks, man.
was cool.
It's honestly it's a lounge conversation, and we look forward to the future of your company.
Yeah.
and we know you guys are gonna soar, dude.
Yeah.
because we believe in you, and I feel like many other people will as well.
Yeah.
Nah,
So-
appreciate it, guys. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell my story, the story of OneSpark, to include my mom in it as well. Obviously, very personal, and I appreciate the opportunity. And now I need to go show you guys Joburg, man.
Let's go.
Take me off the golf course.
Off the golf
We'll
course.
take it easy. Yeah.
Yeah, give me all your attention. One time for the misfits. Through the doors open on the highway, I promise you don't want to miss this.